Welcome back, everyone. We are here for the Nerd Rage Gaming weekly Riftbound stream. My name is Soapy, and I'm here with. You're supposed to do your name too.
Oh, I'm Teddy Panda.
Teddy Panda.
How's everybody doing?
Cumulatively known as Soapy Panda, determined last week. As we are jumping straight into a match, we got the Kennen deck. We watched this deck last week. I'll be interested to see if this is the Miracle Kennen, or you talked like about a version that was a little more resilient. And against him, it looks like we have a Pike, which I actually haven't seen Pike get played yet.
Oh, you're gonna enjoy this.
I think this is the first time I've seen red.
Pike's very fun. Yeah, we had no red last week. A lot of orange, a lot of purple, a lot of yellow.
Purple seems like a decent color. People seem to like that one.
Yeah, it's the best supporting color in this game right now. Between the movement, the bouncing, it's a very controlling aspect. Gives you a lot of tempo and just does a whole lot of things that other colors can't do, but it doesn't have the units quite necessarily to support everything else.
Looks like we're going to get a ride the win. We're going to see if we hit our first Nocturne of the game here.
No Nocturne, but it looks like an extra Lightning Rush and another... Is that Fizz?
Yes, there is a Fizz Trickster that hit the graveyard. And I don't remember off the top of my head, what does the flow cost?
2 and a power, I believe.
2 and a power for
Lightning Rush.
Okay. Looks like we have a Gust.
Yeah, gust that up, keep the points low.
Looks like there's a bit of a discussion here.
Yeah, so Ripper's Bay Battlefield, whenever a player has a unit returned to their hand, they can pay 1 to ramp a ruin.
That feels pretty good if you're playing against purple.
100%. 100%. And then especially with Pike's build itself, it does the whole Pack of Wonders trick usually. So they do a whole lot of bouncing. Pike's Legend does a whole lot of bouncing. So that Ripper's Bay is definitely a wonderful battlefield for you to have.
You know, as a Mastery 7 Pike myself, I do enjoy seeing what's the title? Is it the it's not the Bay Harbor Butcher, because that's Dexter. Is it it's like the Bay Harbor something. I thought he has a cool moniker. Anyway, I'll stop monologuing. I do really enjoy Pike in League of Legends. So.
Yeah, I tried Pike mid quite a bit.
Dude, that was degenerate. Oh my gosh.
Assassins was the thing to do then. You know, the lethality was great. And then we were talking about roaming earlier. You know, you had 2 extra lanes to roam and still reach your mid lane.
That's true. It looks like we're also familiarizing ourselves with the Pike from the side of the Kennen, as we will get a Conquer into the Ripper's Bay, which will take us up to 1. So, taking the first point, pretty good.
I believe we make a treasure off that treasure hunter. Mm-hmm. I don't know if we missed that or not, but there we go.
Nope, there we go. I believe those are gold tokens in this game, right?
You're right.
Because, well, there's gold and treasures in Magic, so it's interesting that they're just gold in this game.
Yeah, I've been calling them treasures because I had a conversation with somebody about the list in Ezreal and calling pirates for all the Bilgewater. And they're like, yeah, you just can't have no treasure with me, so...
Another treasure hunter, speaking of the devil, comes down here. And I don't know, this is a pretty good spot to be sitting if you're Pike.
Oh, yeah, in 2 turns, you'll basically have a Baron that you don't reduce your ruins for, which will allow you to have a full play turn following it. So Pike's kind of sitting very nice, but this is where Kennen starts to just aggressively put stuff out.
Yeah, this could be a nice moment here, especially if we get a Conquer, bounce over with a Ride the Wind, get yourself 2 points, get the retreat. You know, this is a nice advantage spot. I think this is the spot where Kennen might try to make something happen. And it looks like we are...
Because it'll be a nice sequence when this Kennen... If the Kennen goes to Minefield, right? And then you give the Lightning Rush flow, and you pay it for the 1, it would be very hurtful if you see those Nocturnes off the Minefield, and then you don't see any on the Lightning Rushes. It'll be like, R.
That would be pretty unfortunate, but it does look like we are going to see that Lightning Rush first.
So the 2 in the ruin, look at 3.
Oh.
Can't quite tell what we have yet.
Looks like a Ride the Wind is going to hit the bin along with a stack deck.
Okay.
So no Nocturne, which is unfortunate when you've looked at the top 6 cards.
Correct, but then that also means... that your mid to late game now has a lot more explosivity than it did in the early game. So, like, sure, because Pike's not looking to go to 8 points very fast. It's going to be bouncing a lot of units. It plays a lot of small units. So Kennen does have the time to say, cool, once you put these units at the battlefield, that'll be my time to get rid of them. You're not going to get taller than me. I'll play enough units that your falling stars only hit one. Right, because Kennen's a 4, Nocturne's a 4, Ross is a 6, so Falling Star is not taking rid of 2 units like it usually does.
Yeah, and I mean Fizz coming down too makes you feel pretty good about binning these Ride the Winds and Stack Decks and Gus, right? Like you have a lot of inevitability out of the trash as well. So it does look like we are going to see a Seal come down. We talked about it last week. Kennen very hungry on the power costs.
Yeah.
Oh, untapping.
So, yeah, it looks like we're going to go to the minefield first, just maybe get a little more information about what we want to do, what we want to play.
And it does look like the Conquer is going to be good. Yes, okay. We've gotten the confirmation the Conquer's good.
So normally what you usually do here is on the Conquer, before you minefield, you target with Kennen first, because you can't use Kennen to target something off of minefield since Kennen doesn't see those cards.
Yes. But it does look like we targeted the Ride the Wind, like we previously discussed.
Yep.
So he's going to jump over to the Ripper's Bay, get a second Conquer here.
Man, I'll probably really enjoy a game of Pike with you, talking about Dexter and just messing with your mind on Ripper's Bay,
I mean, Ripper's Bay seems to be a pretty good meta call here if you're playing against purple a lot. I mean, being able to ramp yourself into the late game.
I mean, you still have to pay a rune, though, so, like,
That's true, but,
not necessarily, you can always play around into that.
Yeah.
Because, like, yeah, you might hold that 1 up, but if you're on 6 ruins, that 1 extra is stopping you from playing Fierce Forerunner, right?
Yeah.
Or that 1 extra is stopping you from playing...
I think it's more about the option, right? You give yourself something to do if you are getting tempoed out. So if you're getting tempoed out with Starcross, you at least have the option to ramp yourself back into the game that lets you deploy more threats. I mean, it is, obviously, it's not free, but giving yourself something to do when you're having your creatures or units returned to your hand is important. We do see another Lightning Rush. We'll see if we hit that Nocturne.
No, still doesn't look like we've hit a Nocturne, so...
That is what, the top 11 cards we've seen so far?
Yeah.
Plus the starting 4, so we're 15 deep.
Roughly. Let's see. We already have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 cards in trash. We have 4, probably 5 cards in hand. We did banish a card already. So, yeah, we're probably already a good quarter, almost a third way through the deck.
Yes. It does look like the Treasure Hunter is going to conquer.
But since we can't see the hand, how many Nocturnes do you think he has in hand? I'm assuming there's at least 1 if we haven't seen 1.
I would say at least 1. Yeah, I would agree with that. It does look like we are going to get the double conquer response here from Pike, going up to 3. So we'll see what shenanigans we can get up to. I mean, quite a bit of gold. We're looking at a total of, 13 available resources currently.
Yep. See, there's Falling Star. And as a Pike, this is where you're really feeling comfortable. Kennen hasn't hit the nuts. You're not facing down a wider range of units. You're able to just play your game plan, keep it moving, cycle through your hand, really choose what you want to play.
Yeah, right. And I think oftentimes, or at least in the last 2 weeks, what we've seen is that Kennen can have those moments, but it's kind of defined by those moments. And if you're not finding those payoffs for putting all these cards in your trash and you're binning your fizzes off of your lightning rushes, it can be difficult to scale into the late game. I mean, you snagged 2 points, right? But now Kennen's gone. You recycled 2 runes last turn. You have a seal, which helps. But you're facing down 2 conquered battlefields. I mean, conquering up to 5 here, holding up to 5 is not going to be easy to deal with. I guess I see Kennen as wanting to take control of the game and kind of ride those initial conquers to the win. And so when I see a board state like this, I begin to get worried for the Kennen player on how they're going to make something happen.
Oh, I 100% agree with that. Because like once Kennen starts losing its units, it definitely loses the inevitability that it has. Because now you're using your runes to play spells rather than using your runes to play potentially game enders or lightning rods that forces the opponent to de-tempo themselves or even just de-ramp themselves to a point where it's like, all right, now, like you said, we're in that control port of the game. I have big units. You don't have as many units, or at least you don't have units you don't want to fight me with at this point because you needed to play those 2 drops alongside the spells versus that 5 drop or that 7 drop in your hand.
Yeah, and I think that, I just have this fear that every time he plays a stack deck, he sees the Nocturnes.
There's like first Ross. This
a
is
good
a nice
start.
way to come back. We already used 1 Falling Star, so you're not really too worried about a Star Cross. You're probably going to Star Cross it yourself since eventually you'll just keep playing it for free. But yeah, no, like when you don't see a Nocturne out of the first, 3 stack decks, because we did 2 Lightning Rushes and a stack deck.
Yeah.
It's... To me, that feels better.
We're riding the wind here.
Yep. Because we do need to, like you said, take them off those battlefields. Holding to 4 is a lot better than holding to 5 for the Kennen, because at least then Pike can't threaten you with a Baron in the next couple of turns.
Yeah.
Now he has to set up that Baron versus just naturally being able to have it.
I'm not familiar with the ruling, but I do believe this Rasa should still be tapped.
No, so Ride the Wind readies the unit.
Does it ready the unit? Okay.
It moves a unit and then readies it. So that's why Diana uses it a lot with Hui, because you just ride the Hui in, do the move trigger, draw, and then you move the Hui back, do the move trigger, draw again. And that's Mel's new tech with Zed. They move the Zed in, get the free Conquer. Now you have a 0 drop. You can move the Zed back, and you've protected both units.
I might have to try out Ride the Wind and Mel.
Ride the Wind is, I think, a guaranteed 1 copy slot somewhere within your 50. So that way, because it's like Charm in green, right?
Yeah.
Or it's like Singularity in blue, where just about every deck in those colors has at least 1 copy of those cards to threaten a play with it.
And I mean, we see it over and over again. The plays that it can threaten are very, very powerful, especially once you introduce the Swain. The Swain being able to, effectively get a 3-point swing if you conquer and then have met the condition and then conquer the other battlefield. I mean, as they introduce more mechanics like that, are you worried that the game of Riftbound is going to continue to accelerate? Or do you think that the mechanic design of counting up is better for the long-term health of the game?
I think it's better for the long-term health of the game because as of right now, Riftbound is a very mid-ranged game.
Yeah.
We're starting to finally hit a couple of pieces that gives us that control and aggro aspects of it, and Ride the Wind is definitely one of those pieces that helps us either keep the game in check, because now it also helps you give comeback moments.
Yes.
With those extra points that you're talking about. But it's also
gosh. The treasure trove's coming out.
Yeah, Treasure Trove and Pack of Wonders. This is where it really gets crazy. Now you can use your resources as kind of as freely as you want. Save those golds, because now look, like you can just use this to pay for something that you weren't paying for earlier. Bounce the trove back to hand, draw a card, and get that ruin right back.
Yeah. I mean, and Pike is not at all afraid to dash into that waste.
Of course, now accelerate the Pike, because now you're going to use your Legend Pike to put it back in your hand, and then if he has enough ruins, he can just replay the Pike again, and then conquer Ripper's Bay, and then I don't know if he can use Ripper's Bay to...
He also can't conquer Ripper's Bay.
He held there this turn?
So, doesn't look like we're going to make a double play here, but we already held and then...
That is the double play. If you held and conquered.
No, I guess I more so meant we weren't going to do the double play with the Pike of putting it back down and conquering. But I mean, we do have the accelerate unit in our hand, right? So if you're playing over on the side of the Kennen, I mean, you have to get something on both of these battlefields if you don't just want to give away a point.
Correct. But
you
then
are
also in the
behind.
Cannon, he's also in purple, so you do have to worry about Ride the Wind shenanigans yourself. So, like, I think this is why Ride the Wind is one of those crucial cards, because purple being a support color, it doesn't do much else.
Yeah. As we do see the last rights come down. That's never something you want to see if you're playing against the Kennen.
Right, and then this is where Kennen is going to start coming back. He has the last rights to get these Rosses out the grave. He also has a Fizz there, so he could do a double last rights trigger where the first last rights gets him a Fizz, next last rights gets him that Rasa, and then he protects the unit moving back.
Yeah, right. And we talked about it a little bit, but there's quite a few cards in the hand. And so if you do have these Nocturnes that have just unfortunately made their way into your hand, unfortunately, at this point, it's not your favorite thing to just be hard casting them, but you can, right? We are in the late game. Unfortunately, as the Kennen, you have far less runes than the Pike, but, you know, a 4 for 4, you know, I mean, it works for fast food restaurants. I don't think there's any reason why it couldn't work for Kennen.
Yeah, Kennen's a very fast Yordle. You know,
I always forget that he's a Yordle.
You can never forget he's a Yordle.
It does look. Oh, we see the From the Deep in the bin here, as we might get the first tentacles on stream.
Yeah, interesting. We're choosing the Rasa here.
I think it's just gonna be the Shadow Order Disciple.
Yeah, because we can always conquer with that, and then this does force the Pike to not be able to Baron you, because now the Baron does have to trade the Treasure Hunter somewhere, but the Treasure Hunter can't quite fight anybody. It does lose to the Shadow, because the +2 from the last rights definitely not big enough for the Rasa. The +2 is not going to get it there. But we are going to see the Tentacles, so there's up from the beginning Banished, just adding a little more resources to the back line for the following turns.
And as we fan through, I mean, we are still looking at 2 lightning rushes, although I can't tell if there is a banish zone off to the side that we can't see, but I do believe we did flow one of those lightning rushes.
We flowed one, I believe, on turn 2, right? It was turn 1 lightning rush, turn 2 dig a little bit more, and then turn 3 replayed the Kennen. So yeah, we definitely have some banishes because we moved up from the deep to the top of the screen when we casted it.
Yeah.
So it's just a little bit off screen from us.
What are you trying to draw here if you're the Pike? I mean, you do have an accelerated Pike out of your hand, so you know you have at least one unit.
Well, depending on the Pike's list, because I did get hit with a downwell from a Pike last night in my testing, so like there's a lot of options you can go from here. You still have a couple more removal spells since we've only seen the Falling Star. I can't quite see what we milled off the minefields. So I think you're just looking for ways to either accelerate some things like your Pike and add some cleaves or whatnot, or you're looking for some removal pieces to get this Rasa and this last rights off the battlefields.
We do see the Fizz, so we're going to get the Falling Star back.
Or
at least that's what's been picked up.
Yeah.
We're debating it.
Falling Star, the Rasa sounds nice. And then probably Pack of Wonders, the Fizz. If he has another Falling Star, he can Falling Star the other Rasa, replay the Fizz, and hit the Shadow in the same turn. That would be spicy. Real strong to get back. So yeah, so we're going to hit the Falling Star, hit the Rasa. That frees up Ripper's Bay, so now we can get a point off this Treasure Hunter, get an extra gold for the next turn. We still have the Treasure Trove under the Fizz to draw another card if we need to. But yeah, I'm not sure what you're really looking to draw here, because a lot of what you need to do is worry about this last rights, right? Because like you can remove these Rosses all game long, but if he's going to get these free conquers off the last rights, they're just going to keep coming back.
Yeah. Where are all the yellow cards is our comment from the stream. We do have some pretty good Ambessa players here, so maybe we'll be able to get Ambessa on stream later.
Yeah, also Kennen doesn't really run a lot of yellow cards in this variant. A lot of what you're doing is purple, like your Seals, your Rossas, your Nocturnes, Ride the Winds, and stuff like that. The only yellow you're probably going to see out of here are sideboard tech. Like the Yellow Decree is really strong in this meta. You probably have a Hidden Blade or some Cold Weeks with your Tentacles to get value, like you're a Victor. But your main board yellow cards are going to be those Lightning Rushes, most likely.
Does look like we are showing the graveyard. Or trash.
No, yeah, because Gust Monk, when you pay the additional one, you get to banish a card. So this is a nice thing that Pack got in its little combo, because you, instead of bouncing the Spirit, you can bounce the Gust and start utilizing this against Kennen, make those fizzes very weak, and then you use the Gust Monk just now to give that Pike Assault 2 as well when you do that, so it gives you a little more fighting might.
Yeah, and I mean, at 7 here, both battlefields will need to be taken by Kennen.
Yep. And held by
held.
Kennen.
Yep.
So this is going to be a very tall order. We do have a last rights to get us a Rasa. So I wonder if this is the turn where we're going to see Kennen use that last rights to get a Fizz first and maybe make some extra plays before you use the last rights again on the other battlefield.
Yeah, it will be, as we do see the Fizz come down. Fizz is gonna.
Do we have another? We have a Starcross. That's gonna be nice. Starcross, your Gust Monk, and the Rasa.
I think it's our own Fizz.
Fizz. That's another good choice. You know, just a lot more utility. You do have 2 Fizzes, so you don't necessarily need one in the base. Especially because Gust Monk, you can always pick up with the Pack. So you always have that utility there too. And this way, Fizz is protected, so if this Kennen does somehow get rid of your battlefields and then still have extra to hit your base, you still have a Kennen to respond, or a Fizz to respond.
And it looks like we have another hidden card here. Well, last time we saw Temporal Breach, but this is not in blue, so we will not see Temporal Breach today. What are you betting on that hidden card being?
Seeing how it is Pike, Purple Pike is a hidden card. Purple Pike gives you a gold whenever an enemy unit dies while he's at a battlefield. You could hide a switcheroo. If he's coming in with a lot of might and aggression, you switch the Treasure Hunter with whatever your big might unit is, and now you have a 1 might unit instead. Other than that, I don't know if there's any red hidden spells that Pike could be playing. I know there's the Storm one that deals extra damage if it's played from hidden. And that's usually about it for those hiddens that we see competitively, at least.
Oh, Starcross for the Kennen this time. Or Kennen. Does look like we have paid. There we go.
Yep.
Ooh, decisions.
So we're probably going to Starcross Fizz and Fizz. And then replay Fizz, Starcross, Fizz, and Pike. That does free up both battlefields, because then you can throw in a Tentacle to this Treasure Hunter, trade 1 for 1, and that shuts down the switcheroo if that's our hidden card.
Yeah.
Because you're not really switching any might. There's no real point to play it other than just revealing. There's the Fizz. Second prediction correct. And then, but what do we grab here though? Because we could also just gust the Pike, so that way you leave the Fizz on the base for the next turn.
I think they might gust the Treasure Hunter to pop the hidden card.
That's also a good choice.
Yeah.
Because if it's not a switcheroo and it is something else, and then there's the Tide Turner.
Doesn't look like we're gonna opt to use its ability though.
Yeah, because there's really no reason to. Like, you don't want to give away a Gust Monk over a Tide Turner, since you can pack the Gust to get rid of more stuff from the trash. Tide Turner switching to Pike doesn't really do much other than saying you just want to protect Ripper's Bay over Minefield, but you don't want to give Kennen free Minefield triggers, though.
Yeah, right. You don't want to give the Kennen more opportunities to look for a Nocturne.
Right.
Which I am a little concerned.
Because, well, at least at this point, we know Nocturnes are in the bottom set of the library, unless he has 2 of them in hand at this point, because it is pretty late into the game. We haven't seen one off any. He hasn't really looked through his deck anymore recently, so
does look like there's more Tentacles. Was there another from the below cast? I'm confused why there's...
Yeah, I'm not sure why there's another... Did he buff it with something?
What does Kennon's ability do?
Kennen gives it assault, but... Oh, that's probably what it is. He's giving it assault.
I see. He's just marking the assault.
Right.
Okay.
Because I'm saying a lot of players do just give it the might versus wait for the actual attack trigger to give it the might.
Mm-hmm. But it does look like we're going to go in for the Conqueror against the
Yep.
Pike here. We do get it. Flip 2. Another up from the deep.
So as long as we're not picking any of these 2 cards, we are good to go here. But I'm pretty sure there's other units you want to play. Don't do it. Nah. So fortunately, we can't necessarily play this here because the last right trigger goes on the same stack as the minefield trigger. So this would be a misplay on us. Is this something we go tell them? He can't play. I believe that's a treasure hunter from trash because it wouldn't have been in the trash for last rights to target.
As it does look like we're going to go hop out. It looks like we're informing the players. Should be pretty simple to rewind. We will just have to choose a different last rights trigger.
Just a different unit if it's in trash for him to play. Yeah, I'll be right back.
Looks like there was another treasure hunter in the bin as our...
Yeah, so he would have been able to play one anyways. It was just more so just making sure that that wasn't the only one, so he's not misplaying anything.
Our sacrificial judge goes to inform the players. Unfortunately, the players...
Yeah, and then here's the Baron from the Pike. So, yeah, this is where Pike kind of wants to take over here because he is able to clear here. I wonder what else he may have for this other battlefield, though.
Well, doesn't he get the Conqueror?
Ride the win. There we go. And yep, Baron's gonna take the game for the ride to win. So yeah, this is the way Pikes end the game. They really just tempo you, get you to 5 points because they are able to drop that Baron, get a free point from the Baron pit, swing somewhere else, and then ride the win over, as you see. So Ben wins, gets the first game. That was a nice way to end it with the Baron. We'll see if Jabor on this Kennen sees more Nocturnes in this next game. Like, that was a very slow, methodical version that we're seeing. Didn't really see the miracle aspect, and Ben really shut it down.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see. I mean, the last couple times we've seen Kennen on the channel, it hasn't performed nearly as well as like we've expected. So,
do I draw off of the after I tactical retreat the Mesa? Do I still draw off of that?
does look like we have a judge question here. So, as we go to the sideboard, it looks like both players looking at some potential cuts out. Oh, the Pike accidentally got shuffled into the deck. Oh,
I do.
You do.
we're
Because
talking
it just
about
replaces
a
the death, but
judge
doesn't
call.
replace the action.
As our Panda is back here
All
from
right.
our judge call. Just some light sideboarding happening. We accidentally shuffled Pike into the deck, went and found him, pulled him out.
Oh, I'm infamous for that. I'll shuffle it into the deck, go into turn 3 looking to play my unit, and I'm like, oh, no. And unfortunately for me, this isn't skirmishes, and those are treated as high OPLs, so you get a game loss for that if it's under the judge's discretion.
That's pretty rough.
So, yeah, you got to catch it before you draw your first card for turn, I believe, is where the final stance is. Like, you can do your mulligans and all of that and then look over and still be able to do it because the game hasn't fully started. But once you draw that first card, if somebody wants to shark you, they can get you there.
Oh, we love... I wonder how long it's going to take for them to change some of the sharking rules in this game, because I know Magic over time has become less sharky. You used to be able to lose if you missed your triggers, and now they just get put on the stack. So, like, it's weird because there's a new meta where you're supposed to wait for your opponents to do something else and then remind them of the trigger so they don't have the mana to pay for it anymore. And I just think it's funny because, like, whenever you try to fix a problem by making it like more forgiving, you just introduce like the next layer of the problem, which is like if it's until you draw your second card, your opponent's not going to point it out to you until you draw that second card, and then they're going to be like, "That's a game loss." So it's interesting.
I think they already have a nice system in place. It's very hard to necessarily get a game loss unless it's like a belligerent rule violation. But they're already under those trajectories because in the first set, Arena's Greatest and Obelisk of Power were missable triggers. So like if you were going first, because one thing I was infamous for this as well is as a Yi player, I would play Arena's Greatest going second, because if you missed the trigger going first and just did your normal channel 2 draw, play something, pass, Arena's Greatest, channel 2 or channel 3 draw, play my thing, pass, and then you go on your second turn and go, I conquer, I go to 2. You didn't announce that Arena's Greatest trigger, you don't get that point. So that was a sharky way to do it back then. Same thing with Obelisk. If you don't get that rune generation right then and there, you've went through game actions, you have additional information, changes a lot.
As it does look like we're going to get Forsaken Wastes and Zon Warrens as our battlefield. Zon Warrens probably coming from the Kennen player as they want to put some more cards in the trash.
Forsaken Waste is going to be coming from Pike. It just helps their smaller units fight the bigger units from other decks. And then Ken is going to use the Zon Warrens to start getting stuff in the trash, start drawing cards, and get things moving.
As it does look like we might mulligan a Tide Turner. It's hard to put a Baron back. It is hard. But
yeah, it depends on how many Barons they're running.
Yeah.
If they're only running one, I don't think you put it back if your hand can support it. But a lot of the times, players do make the mistakes of trying to keep what they think is how they're going to win this game, and then they don't draw the cards that they actually need to win because it was that 1 or 2 cards deeper.
And here we go. It's another day on stream and another stack deck played on turn 1.
But at least this time we don't have to worry about any Nocturne shenanigans. So it's just a full stack deck, 1 for 1, kind of filter a bit. We have 2/2. Yeah, there we go. Noxious Hopeful, 1/2 punch. So this Noxious Hopeful is going to be very good in starting a base, fighting early, protecting early. Now you'll be able to hold.
And it is nice to get that discount, right, and get it out for 2. I mean, threatening the 4 Conquer here is going to mean that Treasure Hunter is mega gold token, and I mean, if he wants to fight over it, it's going to disappear pretty quick.
Right. And like bouncing with Starcross doesn't feel as good sometimes because it's like, oh, they'll just play something else and then just play it for cheap again.
As I will say, one thing that we pride ourselves here on at Nerd Rage Gaming is the rune game of our stream decks.
Yep.
Both players sporting, looks like we got Spirit Forge runes from the Pike, and I'm not quite sure what set the runes from the Kennen are, but we do go for the Conqueror.
I want to say those are Origins.
Okay.
I think those are just base Origins. I don't think Flex Jabber has played much in these past couple of sets. He was a big part of our community in set 1, and then I think kind of was here and there in the other sets while he worked with UVS and Riot. He was on the technical hands of Hartford, so I got to do some things with him there and say what's up.
I did enjoy that Ride the Wind there, moving the Treasure Hunter over, getting another gold token. I mean, these gold tokens are very good at helping Kennen stay on pace with their runes. And also, we did see an Up from the Deep hit the trash. Very good to see early, as we do see the accelerated Pike come out. That is going to take the Treasure Hunter off the board.
Yeah, but the Ride the Wind play also was great because you got a free point, or not necessarily a free point, but you did get a point on your opponent's turn. So now it's 2-2 rather than being 2-1 and you're behind. So this Treasure Hunter that's in base is going to go 3-2 and keep you on that point tempo.
Yeah, and it will be interesting to see. Right now, the Pike has not gotten as accelerated of a start as we saw in the prior game. So Kennen, as long as they don't have to recycle too many runes here, will be up on resources. And I think that was one of the unfortunate things we saw happen last game, was that Kennen devoted a lot of resources to trying to find those kind of right answers, and at the end of the day, the Kennen still got taken out. We didn't see any Nocturnes. We tried to make the play with last rites to get back in the game, but unfortunately, he had the Baron. And so, staying up on your own resources this game is going to make, flowing spells like Up from the Deep back. I mean, those tentacles, if you just get it, put into your trash and then you're flowing it back, that's good value. But if you're casting it twice, you're casting 3 of them throughout a game, you're really going to muck up the board with all these tentacles. And in a matchup where both players are perfectly happy to return units to their hands, all you really need is a 1/1 tentacle to go in and snag a battlefield, and that's a free point. And especially when you're not risking losing one of your more important units, just getting that point off a conquer with a token is so powerful.
Yeah, and we'll see the Up from the Deep banished from the trash, as you were talking about, getting those value pieces, putting down some extra bodies. But then to say this is kind of the ups and downs of the Kennen deck, it's very heavy on the miracle aspect. Do I see the Nocturnes off these draw cards? Do I see the Rasa being played for free? Am I getting the value off the last rites? If these aren't happening for Kennen, the deck kind of just falls and stumbles a bit and really makes you think. Like, the way I look at Kennen, it's really a matter of how does the pilot handle not seeing what it needs. And if you can really play the pilot rather than the deck, that's really where you want to be in a Kennen match, is really where is your opponent? Are they a aggressive Kennen or are they a hesitant Kennen? How am I playing into that? What do I have into my disposal? And then what do they not see? Because if you're not looking through their trash and throughout the game and not seeing what they don't have and what they could have, that's where you walk yourselves into a lot of those plays.
We will see the accelerated Pike going up to 4 here, taking the waste, and we're going to pop him right back. I mean, no reason not to. Get those free conquers. You're up 4-2. I mean, especially when you're not, like, all of the, like, the traveling merchants, the tentacles, those are all exhausted right now. And so getting your free points where you can means that you can give Kennen time to try to crawl back into the game. But we saw it last game. Kennen makes a very valiant attempt, and then, you have the Baron, you have the Ride the Wind. So getting yourself those early points with Pike, and then kind of like you're talking about, giving your opponent that sense of hope as they're catching back up, and then you have that inevitability of these really big bombs because you've accelerated yourself so hard on runes using these gold tokens. This is a true economy deck that has a aggro package that allows it to get those early points, a little bit different than the Diana deck, which is kind of really looking to take control of the game from the very beginning and play off tempo. Pike is kind of okay to, it seems to me, take its foot off the gas for a little bit, and then right at the end, it's going to slam the gas and just take over.
Right, because like as you saw in game 1, Pike has the opportunity to be like, cool, all I have to do is ebb and flow to 5. I don't really care where you are in the point of the game. If I can get to 5, have a healthy base, have strong enough economy, as you were saying, I can drop this Baron, have extra gold, use that to pay for it, and then start riding the winning or start falling starring, things like those, so that way I can go, cool, 5 to 6, 6 to 7, and then as long as you're not 7, I'll just hold here, force you to fight a 12-mile unit, force you to fight whatever I stack here, and say if you can't break this, because Baron also forces Pike's opponents to score 3 battlefields to win the game rather than 2, so you can really just go, I don't even want to deal with that battlefield right now, because I know I'm not going to be able to hold 3 effectively. I'm just going to go to 2 and say, what do you have?
And we do see a Lightning Rush come out, and that's going to put another Lightning Rush and a Lacerate to the bin.
Oh, there you go, YRG. There's your yellow card. Lacerate.
Probably out of the sideboard, to be honest.
Definitely out of the sideboard. One of those cards that you're just looking for specific matchups. Pike's one of those. Plays a lot of small units. Good for tempos. Gets you off points. And then it has flow, so you can always bring it back.
I'll be interested to see, with all of these cards now that are being printed at the Destroy Something with 3 Might or Less, if Diana starts to fall out of favor, just given how much of her strength lies in her ability to just sit there and give you these free resources. Now that Lacerate exists, we have Public Execution, we have all these different ways to deal with these smaller units. It makes me wonder if some of these smaller units as leaders, I mean, Kennen himself can be taken out by a lacerate. It's pretty strong effect.
I don't think Diana's necessarily worried too much about. There's a Nocturne.
It's the first Nocturne of
but
the
that's
matchup.
a hard-casted Nocturne, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it just looks like Kennan's just drawing all of his big units, isn't really getting the miracle aspect. But like I said, this is where the pilot aspect comes in, is how do you transfer your game plan, use what you have rather than what you don't have, and then force your opponent to go, cool, you still have to play around these Nocturnes. You still have to play around these Rasas, but at the same time, you still have to deal with what I'm doing right now.
Yeah, right. And I mean, both of these battlefields are conquered with one with a traveling merchant and the Rasa, the other one, the Nocturne and the traveling merchant. There's 2 tentacles in base, and there's still an up from the deep in the trash, right? So as far as you're concerned, there's quite a bit of gas still left in the in the tank here.
Yeah.
But we are going to see
Probably. Oh, here we go. Death Below. Pike's signature. So what Pike can do here is keep looping this to get rid of problematic units.
You know, that reminds me of Pike's ultimate in League of Legends. I think we talked about it last week. They did a very good job of making the Legends and units feel like their League of Legends counterparts.
Right. Like, yeah, you know, Nasus might not be what you expect it to be, but at the same time, like, this is still a card game. They're not obviously going to be able to do all the same things, even though I do wish Nasus used the XP system.
Does look like a question is being approached for the judge. As Soap is going to be on the solo cast vibe now, as Panda, our resident judge, goes out to answer some questions. I'll do my best to analyze the situation as we do see Panda's hand enter the frame. Yes, LOL. Looks like we're explaining how the looping process is going to work. This is the first time we've seen this come up on the stream, so we are trying to see if I can listen in on the discussion. I think we're discussing the precise language of the Death from Below. As Starcrossed, in response to the Death from Below, see what the targets are. Most likely is going to be it's going to be the Merchant back to hand. And I believe the point of that is to prevent the looping of the Death from Below.
Correct.
By removing its target, the spell will fizzle.
So there's no fizzling in this game. It was a great judge call for any new players that are watching. Death Below specifically says kill a unit at a battlefield. Then if that unit was 3 might or less, you can start looping it again. So him being able to Starcross the Treasure Hunter, removing the unit that it was targeting, it does not meet a unit requirement. It doesn't meet the battlefield requirement. So the extra looping portion doesn't come into play because nothing was killed for that check.
So he successfully flashed the Pike-All, is what I'm hearing.
Yep.
Just without the actual flash card in this instance. Although flash as a card would work.
In this instance, we can say he technically got Tom'd there, right?
That's true.
Tom Kench saved him.
The Tom Kench R. Although Starcrossed is Diana, right? Because is that like
No.
lore-wise, Starcrossed is Diana? Because like Diana and Leona are like canonically the Lunarian Solari, because she's the aspect. They're both aspects, right? So
I'm not sure how Starcross fits lore-wise, because I know, at least I'm more focused like on abilities and stuff like that. I haven't really paid attention to the lore.
Understandable.
Counterparts, like Diana's Q is Crescent Strike, which is a spell. So I think Starcross, if anything, does have to do more with lore than the units.
As Kenan here, looking at what he can do, I mean, he does hold both battlefields, as he did conquer up to 6.
Yep.
So it'll be a question of... sorry.
No, my bad.
I was going to say, it's going to be a question for me of if we're going to continue to utilize these cards in the trash, or if we're going to be playing spells from our hand. It can be a bit deceptive, Kenan playing a lot of spells, but then you always look at their hand. It's very, very full, and it's because these Lightning Rushes, you know, they get 2 uses. We see these flow cards, which I've actually really enjoyed flow as a mechanic. Reminds me a lot of Flashback from Magic, and that's just, it's always nice to get value out of seeing your cards go to the trash. It doesn't feel as bad and kind of enables these faster strategies that want to fill their own trash.
Yeah, I really like flow in a game like Riftbound, especially because you don't necessarily draw a lot of cards. There is ways to manipulate that, like with the traveling merchants and the Hueys and stuff like that. Stack decks just replace themselves, but a lot of cards replace themselves, not necessarily draw extra or give you that +1 value. And flow now does do that. So like Lightning Rush, Dredge Up from the Deep, Lacerate, like those cards, like you said, get that extra value. So it doesn't feel like, oh, I just used it once and it's just a one and done. Now it's like, oh, I have 3 copies of Lightning Rush. I technically have 5 copies of Lightning Rush.
Yeah. I will say I had a particularly brutal moment the other night where I was playing Mel and I had 4 tentacle tokens. And let me just remind you that Bellows Breath is a fantastic card.
Yes, it is.
Especially, I mean, it used to be great for Victor. Now it has a new use, which is dealing with the tentacles. We will see the accelerated pike come back to the board, though.
Give himself the +2. Take here. And yeah, Bellows Breath also gets more value with the more, Drag Under. See, Drag Under is spicy in Kennen because Kennen can give it flow from trash and then give it the trash reduction from playing anywhere other than your hand.
And you know what? I mean, I think that Jabba Jabber, is that how you say it? Jabba Jabber? I think Jabba Jabber here was reading the Twitch chat, YRG, and he has brought the yellow cards for you this match. As this, I mean, if Pike can't deal with this might just be the nail in the coffin as we could hold to 8.
Yeah, no, because I think what Pike's going to be looking to do here is conquer here, try to somehow get rid of this Ross on the other end and just hold. But yeah, if this drag goes through, then Pike might just have to go to game 3 and we'll just continue going. So
now Pike wouldn't be playing, because my other thought is
Pike could have abandoned.
It could, okay. I was also gonna, I don't think we have the runes for it, but
We do.
Kaisa.
He has 3.
I don't think Pike
you don't have
plays Kaisa.
No, Pike wouldn't play Kaisa because you're
accelerated
doing the Pike thing for the Kaisa aspect, right? And it's cheaper. It doesn't require extra runes to do.
Does look like, is that Ride the Wind?
No, I think we flashed.
No, I there was a recycled rune, so I believe that was a Ride the Wind back to base,
if
because the Pike is readied.
Correct, yeah, so then it was flashed.
So now we can attempt to reconquer a very...
Oh, that is right.
Yeah.
That is Ride the Wind, we can't do that.
Why?
Because Ride the Wind is action.
Looks like Teddy, Panda... Oh,
So-
we're
oh,
going to try to... Oh, yes, we appreciate you guys as we are...
Yeah, I was going to get to that conclusion, too, because that's why I was saying Flash, because Flash has reaction and saves it.
Yeah.
But if it was Ride the Wind, he can't do that. So that's where I was getting a little confused. I'm like, how did this Pike just move back right now? Like, Yeah, so we caught it, we roamed back. So, yeah, I think that just nails the Pike in, because I think that's what Pike was looking to do, is just flat or Ride the Wind around to get rid of this Rasa. Man.
But it does look like, I mean, with this unit, we are going to pay a power here, so we do have something else coming.
No, we're just going to get rid of the Trove, see if we can draw something to respond with. I don't think there's much that this Pike can do at this point, because we know he has a Ride the Wind, right? So he can at least Ride the Wind the hopeful, get rid of this tentacle like he was doing earlier to take the cannon off from a straight win. But now it becomes a matter of how does this Pike stay in this position and get their next turn.
Yeah, I mean, holding on one rune is not exactly... Oh, it does look like we are going to pay a power cost.
Yeah, probably a tie turn as we saw last game. I do remember a switcheroo was in his hand, so it could just be like a little bluff, because you do have to go bigger than this hopeful to get there. But if you're going wide, it doesn't necessarily matter.
I want you to read the Pike player's face. Do you think this is a bluff from the way... If you were sitting across from this Pike player, you think it's a bluff, or are you just going for... Oh,
no, you go for it.
Not even going to have to answer it.
You have Starcross, so there's no reason for you to even try. Right. So yeah, you just Starcross, Fizz, and the Noxious Hopeful. Reveals the Tide Turner. Yep. And then we'll give Assault and just win the game.
Boom.
And there we go. So we didn't really see any crazy Nocturne plays. We saw a hard cast one. But Pilot was able to go behind, come back, even it out, and then overall take the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jacob Ben, in fact, did not win that game. But we still have another game, so Ben could win the round. And that's all he needs to do.
Yeah, I mean, and one thing we didn't see come up this game was the Baron. I mean, the Baron started in his hand. It was in that hand the whole game, but it never made its way to the battlefield.
Yeah, and going off of what you said, he didn't have that explosive start like he did last game. He wasn't able to just play a bunch of treasure hunters, play a bunch of pack plays, and get that generated value. I don't even think Ben got to 10 runes this game.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty rough. This was, not the full Miracle Cannon, but still a display of what the deck can do, just, presenting small units. And I do think, setting yourself up with those up from the deep, giving yourself those small units allowed for the Assault to be given to the Traveling Merchant at the end of the game and close it out. Being able to muck up the board with all these units, if your opponent is not playing sweepers, it's going to make it a lot more difficult, especially when the Pike is going to be returning itself to the hand. Going in with that 1/1 Tentacle is a free point. And it's going to be difficult it's not going to be difficult to reconquer on those battlefields, but the fact that the Cannon has a unit to present to those battlefields means that's not free points on the table.
But as you saw with that 1/1 Tentacle, who plays around a Drag Under, right? Like,
That's true.
That I think that was the first Cannon list I've seen to play Drag Under.
Well, I will say
That was a pretty nice play, very unexpected, has very wonderful synergy with Cannon, free pitch target.
I think as long as we would, I think we should just let him cast the Ride the Wind. I think that would have, made the game a little more interesting. We would have got probably like one more turn out of it.
Got to keep it intact,
That's
because
true.
if you let them do that there, they're going to start doing it everywhere else.
That's true.
And then it's going to be like, well, they went to Energy and did this, so why can't I do it here? And it's like, well, now we're just
They're
letting them
back.
play wrong.
The menace of the Tentacle tokens.
Well, and that's the strength of them, is since you're going second, you go to 3 runes automatically. Like, you get 2 bodies.
Yeah.
Like how we were talking about Sprite Found last set was giving a lot of tempo orientation to blue with being able to score on turn 1.
Yeah.
Well, being able to score 2 points on turn 2 is very strong.
Well, yeah, but even going first, like turn 1, you play a Traveling Merchant. Turn 2, you're going to conquer with your Traveling Merchant. I'm going to bin my Up from the Deep. I'm going to tap. I'm going to flow it back. Now I have 3 bodies, right? Like, it's good on the draw because you can play it immediately and present 2 bodies to conquer those battlefields. But in purple, it's also good to be pitched to a Hui. It's good to be pitched to your Traveling Merchants, right? So these flow cards, I think, are really going to show up more and more often because it is really that residual value that they can create where it's, this Up from the Deep can sit in the trash for the rest of the game. And at the end of the game, if we see a crazy wipe and everything is gone and all you have to do is, flow this back, get 2 bodies, conquer, that's good. I mean like,
talk
it's the
about
permanent
flow.
threat.
If you have no units and you have Ride the Winds, though, now you have 2 units to start riding the winning with, right? So,
Yeah.
like, Up from the Deep is a very great card. It's going to fit very well. I wonder if Aurora players start to adapt to playing it, since it doesn't cost a power, so you're
Yeah.
not deramping yourself, but it does give you free bodies to start scoring, so you're not necessarily have to worry about that tempo point loss anymore. You can start combating it.
And it looks like we will see 2 more of the tentacles hit as the Cannon will become unempowered, giving the Assault to the Tentacle. And I mean, right there, this card.
Oh, they're both playing Treasure Hoard.
Yep.
Got it. So
This is going to be a lot of resources in this
yeah, this
matchup
is
for
very
game 3.
resource. So now it just comes down to who can use their resources better, right? Like, if we're both getting
Which
all these powers to be paid for free, so
I do think is the Cannon. Or no, actually, I
Well-
think it's probably the Pike. just
well,
with
Pike
heavy
uses
popping.
I think Pike uses more power than Cannon does, but Cannon does have more spicier plays
Yeah.
because you seeing Nocturnes, paying those with gold rather than your actual
It does
ruins.
look like the Falling Star. might pick up some units here. One in base, one at
Yeah,
a battlefield.
because then you just swing over the other one to get rid of 3. You will probably just let this tentacle trade with the treasure hunter.
Yeah.
Or force the cannon to go, cool, you have to play cannon and you have to use your cannon in the same turn to get rid of it.
But I mean, when you think about it, the cannon player has played one card this entire match so far. He has played the Up from the Deep once, and then he floated back, and that got him 2 points, whereas we've seen a Falling Star. I mean, we basically traded Up from the Deep for Falling Star, and we still have a residual tentacle, and we made 2 gold off it.
Yeah,
so, I mean,
I
very,
think
very
cannon's
powerful.
on the higher end of this trade, so...
Although 4 gold for the side of Ben wins. If you're in the chat right now, I think there's a good chunk of you. I would love to see what you guys think the result of this match is at this current moment. Who you guys think is going to take this win and use these resources better. I will say, the cannon did the slow nod, so I do not think we'll be seeing a Nocturne.
No, but I think he probably saw another Lightning Rush or a stack deck, because I think that's what happened in Game 1 is he did this and found another one.
The seal. I will say, one thing that I've been thinking about since we saw it come down is with these flow cards, the Gust Monk trigger seems a little more important when you have to decide what you're getting rid of. I mean, it's hard because... So it looks like the prediction is that Kennen has a much better time into the Pike deck here.
Yeah, Ken is probably a little more favored just off the general raw power it has. Because it does go taller than Pike. Pike's real advantage is that it plays Baron easier.
Last Rites is not what you want to see, though.
Well, he doesn't really have a trash right now, and you're not on Minefield or Zon Warns.
I guess that's true.
And he's putting back a unit, so I think this is more of he's just looking to start taking control of the battlefield rather than start utilizing the potential of Last Rites. Otherwise, I think he just keeps he can't play the Traveling or the Treasure Hunter anyways.
Yeah, I think that's true. There's not a lot of great answers here to the gumming up of the board from the Kennen, right? Like the sheer amount of units that are going to get put down. I mean, purple, like we talked about last week, very good at removing things from the board temporarily, not good at solving your problems long term.
Well, if he's like the Pike I played the other night, I got hit with a downwell, so we'll see if that comes out. Because that gets rid of gear, so you lose the golds.
Yeah.
So you can just float them on your end. It also loses the units. And then as a Pike player, since you're playing accelerated units anyways, you're really just protecting yourself being able to conquer again.
Yeah, right. And I do think this double...
Conquer here with the Pike, go to 4-3.
Yeah, this double treasure hoard is really dangerous because both sides basically don't have power costs.
Oh, yeah.
I wonder if there was a...
This is a Riftbound player's dream to have all these gold tokens on. It's I don't have to recycle? Oh, I feel like a Kaisa player in set 1? Oh, go crazy.
Unfortunately, that was before my time. Vendetta is where we started, so flow is my favorite thing right now.
Because even though Yi had the gimmick of I'm stronger in might on defense, Kaisa not having to recycle his ruins as much was really, really strong in the early parts of the game and why it kind of took over. Because there wasn't really many answers to something like that. Because as Yi, Kiana uses a power. We didn't have Punch first, so we didn't have to worry about that. But our Yi's a 7 energy and a power. Dead Bloom's 2 power.
You want to know what my favorite part about starting in Vendetta was? When I went to the pre-rift, the shop owner gave me 2 copies of Flash for my deck for free.
Oh, I have more flashes now than the amount of times I cried about not having a flash.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know the full lore, but I was told that they got short printed and that they were roughly $80 or $90 per copy.
it was like the Dockside era, right? Where Dockside you could only get out of that
it was only on
pre-con.
pre-constructed.
It was only in Proving Grounds.
Okay.
So like Yi players, Annie players, Lux players, you could only get your cards from Proving Grounds. So like for me, I had to order my Yi because I wasn't paying $300 for a Proving Grounds deck.
Yeah, it seems
Yeah.
reasonable.
So like.
Which is also unfortunate because Proving Grounds is supposed to be like the introductory product, right? To get people multiple decks, and they put like one of the better competitive cards in it.
Well, I don't think they, because like I always say, this game is based around multiplayers. It's not really a 1v1 based game. Because a lot of your stuff is the friendly and enemy key terms are for 2v2 or for free for all, right? So
I don't
like,
think I've ever actually played a multiplayer match of this. All of the Proving Ground Legends are amazing.
and we'll put Garen in there as an honorary mention, but he needs a rework.
I have lost to Annie a lot of times on the simulator. Oh, bro. I'll tell you what. The people on the simulator make me very sad because I'll just be like, I'm going to go play some Riftbound tonight. And I got I don't even know what's happening. And they got all the hotkeys. The simulator is fun.
Yeah.
I am waiting for Riot to make an official client because I will give them money. Also, don't forget, if you're in the chat, if you have disposable income here in the next couple days, the Riot raffle for the T1 World's Champion Riftbound set is going to be going in. So if you have a Riot account, make sure you put your name in that raffle.
Oh, here comes Baron from Pike.
Yeah, the Baron is going to be pretty nice.
But it is stunned. So one thing they have fixed for those who aren't aware, with Vex Apathetic, if you play a unit in the end step, aka Aurora, the stun now does fall off in the expiration step when you do all your re-cleanups rather than the beginning of the end step.
Oh.
So before, I only know about this because of Debloom in set 1, and I was a big Rune Prison fan.
Okay.
So when they try to fight me with a Debloom, I would just pay the 2 runes and stun Debloom. Debloom bounces back, and then on my turn, I would challenge it.
I see.
And because it would remain stunned. But challenge doesn't really get around the stun aspect, but it's because I catch my unit, I was able to do that.
Does Kennen have the juice here? As he will come out. We're gonna flip
here,
to...
this was a risky play by the Pike to do this because now this Baron, unless you're stacking it or you're stuck in the other battlefields, cannot leave. And yeah, we cannot play the Starcross.
Okay.
You cannot target the Baron, so there's no units for you to present as an enemy currently. So yeah, this Baron cannot leave this battlefield because if you do, that is a free point from this cannon because anybody from anywhere can, well, obviously not from another game, but any unit from this game can move into this Baron pit. So it gives all of your non-ganking units pseudo-ganking, which is really strong.
Yeah, and I mean, your Baron setups are the most important. There's no Vars queue to steal it in this game. So
yeah, no bards to stun everybody.
Yeah, right.
Have a little dance party.
Have they put Bard into Riftbound yet?
Yes, we do have one Bard. When you play him, you can play him to an open battlefield and then move any number of your units to that battlefield.
Oh, he has the portal?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's sick.
Yeah, he gives you the portal
I really want
effect.
Rakan. I would love it if they printed like a Rakan in like one color and Zaya in the other color, and they're like made to get played together. Like the legend is both of them.
And you tap your legend when you do it. Yeah, I was like, there's something else that I'm forgetting, but like he's a little niche right now because obviously if you're already taking that battlefield, there's not much you want to do.
Yeah.
So I wonder to see where some of these cards go for him.
As we do see, Up from the Deep hit the bin. That residual value.
Yeah, get the Empower of Cannon Legend. So now I wonder if there's going to be some type of play that we set up now, or if we're going to look to do it next turn to get rid of Baron. Because I don't think we play a Kha'Zix, which is usually how purple tries to do that. And in yellow, you can't target it unless we have a Cole the week from the sideboard. So we'll pass here. Baron's going to hold to 6. And then this is where it gets juicy for Pike. Because Baron's more than likely going to be able to take this top treasure from this Vex. And then he can accelerate the Pike that we know about to the other treasure hoard to win the game.
Oh.
But we do know. So here, if I was gonna do this, I would have just moved the Baron to that treasure hoard, because then you take it, then you can ride the Baron down, and if there's somehow any interaction there, that's when you can bring the pike in to take the last point.
Yeah, right. And I do think the key point here, right, is the Baron cannot be bounced.
Right.
And so the Starcross is just rotting. It looks like
and then bring the
accelerated
pike in anyways.
Okay, do we have the Gust? Is the Gust just... Oh! No, we do have... Oh, we
do have a Starcross, but I don't think there's much you can do, because you just bounce the pike to hand and then he just replays it with accelerate again.
So we were informed that Baron can't just gank between the battlefields. He had to move to base first because he was in the Baron pit.
Right, Baron does not have ganking himself. That is correct.
And that's why we need our viewers, like Jacob the Duckman.
Right, keep us honest.
Exactly.
Now, I'm over here talking about we can't just let them play ride the win at reaction
Exactly.
speed, and I'm over here giving Baron ganking.
I will say, the Master Yi who has ganking is messed up. I'm not a fan. Not a fan. Still a tier 1 Master Yi hater over here.
Yeah.
Charm, Defy, and Sabotage should not be in the same deck.
Hey, it's definitely something that gets you mad, but the 7 energy Yi was not fun to play with. Just because you're watching everybody else use their legend before you, and then as you try to say you set up for Barons, you have to set up for those Yi plays. He does come in ready, so your opponent's gonna get ready for him to come in as a 6 might.
Lee Sin players hearing that and crying right now. Understandable. I don't know about Lee Sin, so.
You just don't do anything with buffs.
Oh, I see. It's one of those mechanics that's just not good.
The mechanic is good because we have Set, which uses buffs to do the whole Zonias. It's just the fact that Lee Sin is in the same colors as Yi.
Okay.
And why would I play Lee Sin if Yi just does the same thing but better? Because everything you're playing in Lee Sin is the same thing as a Yi player, but then you're taking out certain cards to play buff cards and is making it worse in certain situations.
I see. Well, that was the end of round 1. I think we might be taking a small break before going into round 2.
Oh, we're going to go straight into
We're going to go straight into it. Love
so
that.
Then I have a question for viewers. What legend are you waiting for, and what would you like it to do? Because me personally, I'm waiting for Brandon Vagar. I want Vagar to be able to deal more damage equal to the XP that you have. Equate that. And I want
What colors should Vagar be?
Vagar is going to be probably blue-red because he's all damage base.
Okay.
His W lets you technically hit in a base, so you'll be able to do more there. Brand is going. I don't see him being purple because if we're going off the identity of a TCG, he doesn't move. He does a lot of stunning, so that could give him green. But he doesn't move. He doesn't do any ganking. He has no mobility, so he's not going to be in the mobility color of purple. The only reason why a Misfortune is in purple is because she does gank a lot with her ult.
I mean, that's understandable.
So other than that, Sivir's only purple because of her ult. She is the movement champion other than Janna. Which means Janna's going to be purple green.
I want Camille.
That's interesting. Camille?
Yeah, I want Camille. I mean, I still really like the idea of a Zaya Rakan in 2 colors, but the legend is both of them. But I don't think that's gonna happen. I would really like it because I played a lot of Rakan in collegiate. But, I mean, Rakan is just such a fun support champion. You just press R, get everyone in one little spot, knock everyone up. You got a Yasuo on your team, you put him in the bounce house.
Oh, that is true. Little Rakan Malphite action for your mid lane Yasuo.
I believe if you guys are real League of Legends fans, you would know about Faker's Shockwave, which was actually controversially set up by Wolf.
Mel does not have movement, so she shouldn't be purple, which I do agree with that, so he could be purple.
Okay, so you said earlier Lee Sin is just the same colors as Yi, and you should just be playing Yi.
Yes.
Do you think that Mel decks should just be playing Diana, or do you think that
No.
Rebuttal is good enough to make it a standalone deck?
So Mel and Diana are both carried by the fact that their signature is what their signature does. So for Diana's case, Hui, Ride the Wind, does a lot of movement, does a lot of card drawing, and then you just make Hui big enough to say, cool, I'm just going to take this unit, I'm going to kill it, and reduce its might. Mel is in the same boat as Diana in the fact that like you can do the same things, but you're more on the controlling aspect because of Rebuttal. So you're not necessarily trying to fight your opponent, you're just trying to tempo them and control them. So they're two very different aspects of what they're trying to do on those colors. Like right now, the wheel of blue-purple is if you're looking to do a gimmick, you go Teemo. If you're looking to be control, you go Ezreal. If you're looking to be aggro, you technically go Diana. And if you're looking to be mid-range, you go Mel.
It looks like we have the Mel, or no, this is, speaking of Ezreal, actually, this is the Ezreal against the Jax. So red-green. I don't know much about Jax. The only red-green I've encountered so far is
Jax
Holly.
is orange-green, same colors as
I
Yi.
see.
But the difference of Jax that Lee Sin doesn't have is that gear is more prevalent than buffs. So you can use Brutalizer better. Unfortunately, you can't do the original Aphelios kind of stuff.
Is Aphelios in this game?
Yes.
Bro, I need to
So
play
when you equip a gear to Aphelios or equipment to Aphelios, you do one of three things. You either untap 2 ruins, I think it's channel a ruin, buff him, and then something else.
This June guy is really bad. Well, that's pretty rude.
Yeah, what makes him bad,
Yeah,
Amoria?
well, we're gonna need some. I'm gonna need
Give me some
you-
context
Yeah,
here. It's because he's playing Jax? I don't like those Jax players either sometimes.
dude, have you played against AP Jax? AP Jax is a menace. He just ease you, especially when what Phase Rush was a rune. He would just you. You'd take like a
don't
quarter of
think
your
I've
health,
faced
and then he
AP
just
Jax.
runs away. Stack deck, not stacking your deck is just a criminal thing in this game. Yeah, I mean, I agree. I really think that stack deck should just let you look at your entire deck, put it in any order you want, and put it
Here we
back.
go. Double stack deck for the Ezreal is going to be really strong to start getting you those control pieces. I think Jax is going to kind of stumble very hard into this Ezreal deck.
Yeah.
Jax is very focused on you trying to fight it, and Ezreal is like, I don't even care about how many points you score. I'm just going to tempo you out this game.
I will say, Jacob, while I do agree that I think Ponder would be an interesting effect, the lack of shuffling in this game forcing you to not really
All
filter.
3 stack decks.
Yeah, that is pretty brutal. But, I mean, at least you ripped off the Band-Aid, and you're probably not going to see another one unless a Fizz comes down. And we got the Bellows, which, yeah, that's pretty rough. You see your opponent sculpt 3 cards into their hand, they take out your only unit, Treasure Trove comes down. But without shuffling, I think Ponder is a significantly worse Magic card. And I think that it would actually be a pretty unplayable card in Riftbound if it didn't shuffle or it didn't get rid of those 2 cards, because then if you don't have a
We're
good
gonna
top
equip
3,
to the Lucian.
you're just going to take 1 and you're going to let the other 2 rot on your deck, top of your deck, unless maybe that's where you're playing that battlefield that
No,
kills you too.
that would make it a lot worse because then you're only playing this card to play that battlefield, and once you either lose or win that game, that's done.
Well, Ponder was very playable during Standard, but Ponder itself has the ability to shuffle it off of its own spell. It doesn't need like a fetch land to shuffle it, but Ponder itself has the option to shuffle those 3 cards away if you don't want that and draw a blind card. So if Stack Deck was templated that way, if it said that you could recycle all 3 cards and then draw a random card, I would be okay with that as an option. I think it would be stronger, but
So we're thinking about playing
Yeah.
the list here so that way we can start setting up removal for this Lucian in the back line. Because this Lucian is also a great way for Jax to start cheating in points since you're not leaving it at a battlefield. But we're just going to Deadly Flourish, get it out there, get that Guardian Angel to proc. And then, yeah, if we could also just deal 1 more damage this turn, this Lucian would have been gone because it does keep the -2 from the list, putting it to 1. So I wonder if we would have just kept that Bellows Breath last turn, if we could have done more.
True. I mean, we do have to think about the fact that every additional copy of Bellows Breath does recycle another rune. So, I mean,
Not if you play an Ezreal. Ezreal reduces the
true.
power cost when you repeat it, because it's an optional.
Looks like we have a little
A little note.
Demacia. Okay.
Yeah, because a lot of, I believe, tags in Jax is Demacia, but it's also just one of those things because you can pick it up with Pack of Wonder. You just name what you need right then and there. You don't necessarily have to hit multiple units from the same type.
Are we able to run a poll? Like a match prediction? I would love to run a match prediction at the beginning of each of these rounds just to see if the viewers accurately predict our winners. So I think we're going to, we are able to run a poll. As it looks like Jax will come down, assisted by the Lucian in the back line. So
Yeah, we have 2 up. So this is being able to have Defies in this match are going to be crucial, especially with Not So Fast that typically comes out of Jax, because your signature spell, it does help, but it doesn't necessarily keep you going.
And I mean, if you're an Ezreal player,
But-
you have to be happy about this new set giving you the Crystal Rose printing. I mean, $25, that art's great.
Yeah, and that shine looks real nice.
Unfortunately,
So we're -2ing.
we are at 1 on Lucian.
Are we going to try to play this Fizz Bellows Breath?
I mean, I think that's what the setup here is.
Because then we can put at least 2 damage or 1 damage on this Jax. But
there
I
might be
believe
another Bellows in hand, but I can't see.
there's
think
a
it's-
Hard Bargain, a Spirit.
Yeah.
I know there's a Pack of Wonders, a Fizz.
Hard Bargain is one of my favorite cards to play in Mel in the sideboard. I love that card.
Yeah, I do like it as a one-of in the sideboard, but as a Mel player, I don't think there's really much that you're looking to use it on in this meta right now.
That's
'Cause
true. I'm just, in my brain, Miscalculation. I guess it has cycling, but Miscalculation is a great card, and so is Mana Leak from Magic. And
Yeah,
I'm just
but
like,
your signature spell handles everything that you want to hard bargain.
that's true.
So and you get to take it. So you're kind of just
That's true. Maybe I'm over-indexing into my control pieces there.
yeah, because like green players only play Not So Fast when there's more reason to protect a single unit than defying. Because like if you're afraid of falling stars and stuff like that and switcheroos
Does
and
look like
rebukes, that's why
Lucian's
you
gonna
play
get the
Not So Fast,
Conqueror.
because defy can't hit those. But as a Mel player, you can hit those.
Yes.
So like you don't need the extra abandons and the hard bargains, unless you're just trying to go a more controlling route and just saying that your opponent's not playing spells.
As it looks like we do see the Herder come down.
Yeah, so the Stellacorn, if it can survive, will be a great way to claw back from these spirits, because it will give you a lot of card draw. You're not an Irelia that can just abuse it though, unfortunately, but every card that you are able to draw in this game matters a lot.
Yeah, right. Especially, if you even get 2 moves out of this Stellacorn Herder and you're able to eat a removal spell on it as well, you have functionally gotten 3 cards out of 1 card, and they have used a removal spell. So you are quite up in terms of the card advantage the card has provided. Ezreal does shuffle a lot of cards around, but it's not super good at getting a filled hand.
This is.
It is?
That's the
I
whole
don't
reason
know.
why if you're playing any control variant of blue-purple, you play Ezreal, because Ezreal's legend is what keeps your hand healthy.
I see, because I've played against the Ezreal deck, and it almost felt like playing against a Kennen deck where it's just like flipping a ton of cards into its trash
no,
as fast as possible.
A good Ezreal player will always have at least 4 to 5 cards in their hand almost every other turn, because like your Stupefies replace themselves. You do play stack deck yourself. You're bouncing a lot of cards with the Pack of Wonders. Your Ezreal draws you cards.
Bellow's Breath comes out here on the Lucian and the Stellacorn.
Yeah, because it looks like we're probably going to use the list on the Lucian. Yep. That's going to kill the Lucian unless we use a Discipline or an On Guard here.
Do you think that's worth it?
Depends on the hand.
mean,
It looks like he
Discipline
only has
places
2
itself.
cards in hand. And then, but we are Jax, so this is why like you play Jax over E sometimes, is because Jax gives you equipment quick draw, which essentially gives them that reaction to use like a Discipline or an On Guard. So he'll get +3 from the Brutalizer, and then we'll just play another list to get rid of the Stellacorn.
Okay. And we do see the Lucian scrape out here. He will stay alive. And it's going to be needed because although we've seen a lot of units so far and spells slung, still 2-0, Ezreal has not made his way to a battlefield yet.
And he's not going to make his way to a battlefield anytime soon.
Yeah.
So like,
although the Sabotage is a great way to get a peek at what's going on over here.
right.
And
So here we're gonna take the hard bargain because the hard bargain can stop you from using your signature spells or your defies. But it's ultimately looking like this hand is just going to just dismantle this Jax, because do we have a pack yet? No. So once we find a pack and we're starting to recycle these fizzes and these spirits, and you no longer have a hand in Jax, that's quietly where you want to be in the Ezreal list. And that's why they don't take many units or many points, is because they're just trying to build you to the point where you can't play anymore and fight back.
very reminiscent of Lantern Control.
People
I
play
will-
Portent in that card is.
Oh, yes, this was to the Ponder debate. Portent is a playable Magic card, and I agree that people did play it, even though it is bad. I still think that stacked deck would be difficult because there's no way to shuffle your library in this game. But I could be wrong, and maybe they'll print Portent in this game, and I would be down to play it. Especially if they print it in blue. Give me another one.
I think the way Stack Deck is worded is the Riftbound version of Ponder, and there's nothing else that we would need to do for a Ponder card in this game.
But give me Preordain.
Like
Let me get both.
We already have Thought Scour and Lightning Rush, and we have Ponder in Stack Deck. So the only other card we don't have is Brainstorm, which we will never get because we don't shuffle.
I did say last week, though, that I thought Brainstorm would be interesting because Brainstorm locks you every time. And so if you did have a way to then mill those cards, or like burn your, like if you played it in Zed and you were able to burn your own cards, it might be interesting. I think it wouldn't be very strong, but
Yeah.
do you think we're going to see the Gust on our own Ezreal here to draw some more cards?
Well, first we'd have to take a point for that.
That's true. We would take a point, and then we would Gust it.
Yep. So I'm wondering if we are going to the Zon Warrens to filter our hand a bit.
There is a Bellows Breath, though, and all those units are sitting juicily in base if you could set something up.
Yep, and this Lucian is only a 4, so listing it does still kill it.
Stupefy.
Yep.
That first mate.
So yeah, it looks like we're gonna go for the Bellows Breath play.
We're going to
'cause
chain. That was
we're-
really lucky to draw another Stupefy.
I don't know if we need to play the Stupefy here, because you could just Bellows Breath that gets rid of the first mate and puts 2 damage on the Lucian, and then you just list the Lucian. Lucian's a what? No, so Brutalizer only gives it +2 on the turn that it's equipped. After that, it's just +1. So it's only a 4. And now it's back to its base 3, which a Bellows Breath plus list kills a 4 might.
Yeah, I mean, this Bellows Breath is going to put in work, cleaning up at least 2 units.
Yeah, and like you said earlier, Bellows Breath is one wonderful card.
I know. I actually took Bellows Breath out to play Eclipse in Mel, and then I swapped back to Bellows Breath when I realized that Eclipse doesn't hit a unit in base. Or maybe I'm thinking of Eclipse Strike. The 3-mana one that
Crescent
does
Strike?
Crescent Strike. That's what I
Yes.
was playing, because it does 4 and then 1 to everything.
Yep. Yeah, Eclipse is just a smoke screen without a power, and you predict, so it can hit anywhere.
You guys will have to forgive me. Still trying my best, but losing on the simulator as I work my way up to taking down the local Riftbound scene from the inside here at Nerd Rage.
You know, one of these days we'll have to put the commentator into the field.
And
see how
I
you
will
do.
quickly lose the match. You know?
Oh, another sabotage, but I don't think there's really quite much for you to hit here.
I mean, Starcross.
I think I would hit the Pack of Wonders, because now
That's
Pack
true.
of Wonders lets them get more value than a Starcross, because at least Starcross you get to keep your unit. Pack of
Is-
Wonders helps you lose your units.
Is Sabotage only
Anything but a gear, or anything but a unit.
but a unit? So you can
Yeah.
grab a gear.
Yep.
Okay.
Non-unit card.
Looks like we will get 2 Conquers up to 5.
And then I wonder how many decrees we have in our sideboard for this Jax player, because that's another way for Orange
Ooh.
to fight back.
That's
is-
unfortunate, though. We just picked up a Starcross after having our Starcross set.
You hate to see it.
No, actually, as a purple player.
Well, I mean,
there's
as the
nothing-
Jax player, yeah. As the purple, as real, you love to see. Oh, you got rid of the card, and I just drew it again.
We call that
Basically,
the-
wasted a spell.
Yeah.
But as a Jax player, you don't know it yet. But when you get it played, it's just like, didn't I just? Is it still? Ah, that sucks.
That's the MTGO top deck bug. Draw the card, you scry to the bottom.
And this will.
The old Thoughtseize. Yeah, that's
Yep.
what the old Thoughtseize bug. Talk about okay, hear me out. They just get Thoughtseize with no life loss. That's messed up.
Well, it's. I look at sabotage more like an Inquisition because there's a requirement.
That's true.
Or not Inquisition. Intimidation tactics.
Okay.
Essentially, something like that.
It's more like duress. Yeah.
There
that's
we go,
true.
duress.
Yeah, that's
more
true.
like duress because it hits a non-creature.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, the Thoughtseize in this game is Mind Splitter. It comes with a
It's a 7 mana
right.
body.
It just comes with a body that unfortunately you have to pay big on.
You got a temporal breach your mind splitter though.
Actually,
Does look
I
like
just go-
Ezreal will take
I
his
just
first
go Mel
4
mid-range control.
Dude, I
add
have
temporal breaches
I have 2 mind splitters in my sideboard.
because like temporal
card's
breach
messed
does
up.
go crazy with Vex.
Yeah.
Just on the unit.
Also, after you told me about that new battlefield, I definitely grabbed that for Mel because I was already playing 3 breaches, and I was like, you know what feels really good? Just exiling your guy forever.
yeah.
Feels really good. I got an Aurelia player with that, and then they immediately left. The Aurelia died. And you're like, oh, yeah. Well, you're playing Protect the President, the deck, so
Yeah.
it's unfortunate.
Yeah, no, the best was when you Fading Memories an Aurelia player and they keep attaching their GAs to it. Great moments.
You know what else is great moments? As we see this Fizz come down straight to the battle. Oh, never mind. We do not see a Fizz come down straight to the battlefield.
Yeah, I think we're just calculating things because we are able to Fizz Starcross, get rid of the field. Or we can just Fizz Starcross, get rid of your Jax, and then go over this first mate.
Fizz Starcross, get rid of the field, though, isn't that fantastic? Because they just play the Jax and then ready it with the first mate, right?
Well, so that's what I'm saying. You just Fizz Starcross, get rid of Jax, and then you go over the first mate. You don't put that back in their hand. That's how Ezreal kills you, or
Focus.
Jax will kill you.
Punch first. That is probably not what Ezra was looking to see.
I don't think you're really worried about that, right? Because you have the Starcross,
No, that's true, and I mean it does.
and then you
flush the
could have
punch
just
first out of the hand.
Starcrossed your Spirit on top. That's a Spirit on top, right? Yeah, you just Spirit with the first mate instead, and then you can just Fizz Starcross the Jax.
I mean, I guess you are willing to trade one of the only cards left in the Jax's hand for your Ezreal when you have a Fizz in your hand that's going to continually loop these spells. right?
Yeah,
'Cause
but now your first mate's at 8, and you're not able to take this battlefield from him, and your only way to get rid of it is to bounce it, which gives Jax the opportunity to use it again.
That's true.
So,
I mean, it definitely isn't ideal, and might give an opportunity for Jax to close this game out before Ezreal can really get like the last hooks in. So, I mean, if you're Jax here, that's probably the exact type of misplay you're looking
well,
for.
not necessarily, because it's also on the Ezreal's end, right? You just Fizz Starcross the Jax, leave
Yeah.
you with the first mate.
Let you hold to 7.
And then you pull it back, I get free points, and then I just get rid of it.
Yeah.
you know, since you don't really have that many cards in hand.
Does look like the double, or at least the single star cross will happen.
Good. And then, because then next turn,
We're playing out the pack.
you're able to pack like your fizzes and spirits.
Mm-hmm. Because the spirit is ETB discard a card, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because like one thing he could have done in this turn is attack into the first mate, see if there's anything I need to get out of your hand, right?
See, if I'm Jax here, I'm going top deck first mate. Top deck first mate. Play Jax, ready him, swing.
Or
Make it
you
happen.
just bring back the first mate, ready, and then go through. But he does have the Rengar, and that's game.
Rengar, notably a better card than Deathbloom Predator.
Oh, 100%. Reaction speed, cheaper. Yeah, Deathbloom's
My first
sad.
game that I played of Riftbound was against a Master Yi deck with Rengars, and I got Rengar twice. And I think that was a very formative experience of me deciding that I did not enjoy playing against the Master Yi deck. Because the worst part is that if they Rengar, and then that's the only unit there, it gets +2. Like,
Yeah.
what? I'll never get over the Yi players trying to gaslight me into thinking them getting 2 free might on everything is okay.
I mean, like, in the grand scheme of the game, it is okay.
No, I know it's mechanically okay,
but like
but it feels bad.
in the standings of actually playing the game, it is not okay, bro. Like, what do you mean your 2 might 2 drop is now a 4 might 2 drop, and then now that we have Mournful Witness, my 2 might 2 drop is now a 2 might 6 drop.
Or the better part is when they play a Scuttle Crab, and then the Scuttle Crab trades after drawing a card and gets to look at your hand, and you're like, oh, that was really awesome.
Yeah, especially when you're playing the cat too. Like, now your cat's a 2 miter, you're able to just be a little more lower to the ground. Like,
I think that Yi giving a +1 would be more balanced, although I don't think Yi would get played.
no,
If he
Yi
was-
I think would still give +2 over the +1, Jacob, even with the play testing.
Maybe if it was a reaction speed.
If Yi came out now, he might be giving +1 because their game is more put together. But in the beginning parts of the game, I think they needed to give it +2 because they were giving red from the get-go Darius, which readies himself for +7, so you need to be able to fight back. They gave blue Watcher, which if Deathbloom Predator is actually going to be an 8 drop and fight you, -3ing it, it needs to be able to fight back. So that +2 stops Darius and Watcher from just overtaking and Kaisa being the only deck that you want to play in that set.
Dude, the fact that Kaisa is still like $65 is crazy.
It was the best red mid game.
Yeah, that's true. Wait, I'm gonna talk to our stream producer real quick. Who was the chat's predicted winner?
Yeah,
Betting on Ezreal.
last minute.
Still betting on Ezreal? Okay.
I didn't really know it was a last minute thing. I thought that thing was already out. Because I do remember the sample decks were like Yasuo, Jinx, Volibear, and Victor. I think were the original 4 sample decks.
Jinx, Volibear, the token, so Victor.
Yeah, I think Victor.
And Yasuo, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So
Yeah, they gotta release the arcane characters, right? Like they just did their whole show. So then they got to get Yasuo because he's like the main character of League of Legends, or he was for everyone who played League of Legends during.
Was he though? I've never looked at Yasuo as the main character. Like
I
League of
think-
Legends
I think-
had too many characters for them to have a main character.
I think Yasuo is definitely a main character of League because when he came out, like unrestricted movement in that way of like
Oh man,
just
I
having unlimited
dunked on
dashing.
Yasuo's when they first
Well,
came
yeah,
out.
everyone was bad when he first came out. No one was keyblading you.
Everybody was keyblading me. When he first came out, I was the little high tier pushing diamond, so like
Oh,
I
dang.
was getting hit with actual tech. It was just the fact that at that
Turn to
time,
dust,
I
that's
don't
rough.
think Well, as a Vagar player at that time with Deathfire's Grasp, Yasuo just got.
Oh, no. Sorry. I did play against original Kassadin. I just refused to acknowledge that was okay.
Jacob, thank you for bringing that up, because I was going to say, as a Kassadin and Akali player with point-click Akali, able to do 4 ults,
No.
Yasuo wasn't
Akali
doing much.
post-rework was one of the most diabolical. Like, Shroud being able to drop tower aggro.
Oh, yeah, bro.
And then you having a stun as well. Like, it's like the same thing. Like, when you go back and look at, like, Azir post-rework or, like, Cassante when he first came. Like, some of these 200 years, man. Except Aphelios. Aphelios was fair and balanced. And they ruined him.
No units left for this Jax yet, though. Getting back
That's
into the
true.
game. Drop a Stellacorn.
Which we did talk about. Stellacorn, a great way to accrue advantage, especially if these sprites are going to be ripping apart your hand the whole time.
Yeah.
So, this Ezreal, like you said, not very eager to take points, but...
Yeah, no, it just... Like, the Ezreal deck doesn't need to. You just control your opponent to the point where it's like, all right, I'll handle anything you top deck.
Can you deck out in Riftbound?
No. So once you deck out, per se, unlike Magic, you don't lose the game. You shuffle your trash, it becomes your library again, and your opponent gets a point. It's called burnout in this game.
Is there a way to design your deck around burning out? Like, or I guess, is that just Kennen?
So what do you... you don't want to design your deck around burning out.
Well, no, but
your
like,
opponent gets a free point.
No, that's
if you
true.
keep doing that, you lose
I just
the game.
didn't know if there was a benefit. Like,
No,
if
there's
there was
no
a deck
benefit for
that
burning
benefits
out.
from, like, having a massive trash to the point where you're like, I don't even care about giving you the
So
point.
that would be the Lux Infinite deck, because the bigger your trash is, the more cards that you're drawing that are the same from your recycling. So like you only want to draw at one point in the game in the Lux Infinite is the Echo, Sacrifices, Shadow Calls, Retreats, and your not the Armory, Forge of the Past, I think it's called, or Forge of the Future. But yeah, there's nothing you want to do with decking out or burning out in this game, because that gives your opponent a point, and if you do that too many times, you lose.
That is understandable. Scuttle Crab, speaking of my favorite XP generating hand Gataxian probing 2-drop, comes down along with the Jax. But I guess, you're not that pressed about a unit coming down here, replacing itself in your hand, especially when we've seen the first sprite hit. You are quickly going to lose your hand to this Ezreal. So having a creature that gains you information and also replaces itself is not something, especially if these battlefields aren't going to be highly contested by the Ezreal. Getting in early, it could be worse. But, gosh.
Man, just any unit that can give you a point in this matchup is a good unit to me.
I'm going to formally apologize to the stream where I said that the Ezreal deck did not draw cards as I look at the Ezreal player with like
Yeah, bro.
8 cards in his hand. I think I just played against a bad Ezreal player on the simulator.
Or like they just didn't understand how they were supposed to draw cards, because it's like I Stupefy, replaced itself. I play something that targets itself, tap Ezreal, replace itself. Like, you're not really going down on cards.
Yeah, I don't know. That was... The Ezreal that I saw just kept like trying to flicker its own Ezreal.
And that's another way that it just keeps up in card advantage, because you're trading 1 for 2 every turn.
Star-crossed.
Yeah, so it looks like we're going to Star-cross the Spirit and the Scuttle.
Yeah.
Because we didn't pay Deflect for the Jax.
I mean, Defy coming down. I mean, it's probably doesn't feel fantastic, especially if they have like a Fizz to follow it up. But like,
Well, I think it's more so that you keep your hand healthy from the Spirit.
no, that's what I'm saying. Right?
Yeah.
It's necessary. Like, you're gonna discard a card anyway. You might as well not let them get a Star-crossed where they're gonna put the Spirit back in their hand as well.
Yeah, but like as a Yi player who's playing the same colors, like that is not, I think, what you want to be defying, because now, say he does do it again and you're spiriting, now you use the defy that you could have pitched to save another target.
That's true. I would be interested to see if they make a counter spell in Riftbound that banishes the card that it counters.
I think eventually.
I mean,
You know,
I think that'd be a very strong tool
a heavy
against
banish
purple.
mechanic right now. So, like, It's just that the set 4 is the first time we've ever gotten banished, though.
I see. I see.
So it's still a new mechanic. I just hope they don't.
Oh my gosh, this guy, the person he just played, I can't.
Irresistible Fate Folk?
Dude, that guy's messed up.
It is, unless you're playing Bellows Breath.
Well, yeah, but like if you're playing Bellows Breath, you got it. But that card haunts me.
Yeah, it's a 56% chance that Rangars do see their Irresistible Fate Folks. So they have a 50% chance to win the game on turn 1.
Oh. I was recently informed by Jacob the Duck Man that Banish was in set
Smite,
3.
yeah. But no one played Smite, unfortunately. Like, I played it in my Kaisa deck for a while, and then I immediately took it out. It just didn't do what you wanted it to do, and you hashtag great anyways. But as we're moving to more death knell effects with LeBlancs and stuff like that, and now that people are utilizing
Speaking
Crab,
of Bellows Breath, we will see the hand here. Hard Bargain, Turn to Dust, Watcher, and a third card.
yeah, and then we draw another Spirit off of the Ezreal, so like...
That is rough.
So, yeah, this is just where the Ezreal is going to start taking true control. As Jax, you don't want to see that hand.
Yeah.
Like, they have an answer to your gears.
Smite needed to be reaction. Yeah. Oh, and here's
I think Smite needed to hit base rather than have reaction. If it could hit base, it would do a lot more. But because it could only hit a battlefield, it wasn't necessarily something that you could utilize effectively. I know, but like we have Falling Star that hits that base at 2. But it does recycle too, though. So
I think Smite should be able to hit a Scuttle Crab in base and kill it. I think
Right?
that's thematic. I agree.
Well, like I can walk up to you and smite you in base and not get hit by the turret.
Or you could just be playing Mundo and heal through the fountain damage.
We did do it one time where my friend played Olaf. I was playing Soraka, and then somebody else was playing Yumi.
Okay.
And we got two
Lucian's
pentas in
back.
base.
2 pentas in base is crazy. Lucian is back. Unfortunately for the Lucian here, and the spirit coming out, now reducing the hand. Oh, looks like we will get the Brutalizer.
But we are hell-bent from Jax here, so top deck mode it is.
Which is not where you want to be when we see the Watcher plus Bellows Breath.
And we do know about that Turn to Dust. So that I don't think that Brutalizer is going to live very long.
No, but I mean, if it's going to go to the battlefield, you at least get the Turn to Dust out of their hand. I mean,
True.
Otherwise, it's going to their yard. Oh, look at 1 and 1.
Yeah, but I think we save like a Turn to Dust for either the the Trinity Force, so that way they can't claw back into the game. Get those free points.
If you were this Jax player, would you describe your current spot in this match to be enjoyable?
Me, I would have scooped.
Yeah, I mean, that's,
To be honest with you, once I played that Brutalizer and I knew he had a Turn to Dust, I'm like, yeah, there's no way
hold
for me
on.
to play
This is the
game.
top deck of the year. Okay, right here. Oh, it does not look like it. It's a Scuttle Crab. That's another look. It's another look.
Yeah. At this point, yeah. I just screwed. Like, I might have done the same thing, get an extra card, see what I could actually do on this last turn, but like, I'm only at 1 versus Ezreal with 5 cards in hand, 6 cards in hand. There's nothing I'm doing moving forward. I only have 2 units. It's over.
Yeah, and I don't know. I think if you're gonna play a deck like Ezreal, you gotta embrace the evil. You gotta be willing to like let your opponents get into the mental state where they're just going, "Dang, I want to concede. Dang, I didn't draw Ancestral Recall." True. I heard that card is pretty good in Magic. I hope they print a copy of it in Riftbound. That'd be pretty.
Premonition.
Sick. Huh?
Premonition.
For 1, is it 1 power?
It will never get a 1 power.
Dude, 1 power.
Or 1 power?
is
No,
fair.
it's 3 power and 2 energy.
See,
Draw 3 cards.
that's bad. They just got to make it 1 power, 1 energy, draw 3 cards.
We'll never do that in this game.
Nah. It would be fair. Trust me.
I don't know, but they made Called Shot 0 energy but 2 power.
I'm just really happy that we were playing Commander together, and I was not playing Riftbound when Draven was legal.
Yeah, see, with
you were
Huron,
like real
your
tilted.
Premonition is 0 energy, 1 power.
Fair.
So there you go.
Okay. You know what? Maybe I'm wrong.
Give yourself a little call shot.
As it looks like we're gonna mulligan a Fizz here. Don't know how I feel about that, but
Well, I mean, you're probably playing 3 fizzes in this deck, or
That's
2
true.
of them at least. So you just want something that helps you control early. Fizz does not necessarily let you do that.
4 if you're confident that you won't get deck checked.
Did you mean better Gush? Yeah. Oh, Gush days. I miss Send triplets a lot.
I miss when you could play Gush, bounce 2 islands to your hand, and then discard one of them for foil and counter their spell for free. Those were the good days.
I know nothing about that.
What?
I just Doomsday.
Did you know that there's a guy who wrote an entire book on Gush and like the best way to play it in Magic the Gathering?
Nope.
Oh, dang. Well, there's your lore for the night.
I just played Doomsday. That's my only
I'm
interaction
pretty sure
with
that the
Gush.
book was about a Doomsday deck that was playing Gush.
Well, sounds before my time.
That's fair. As Scuttle Crab, the absolute... Actually, okay, I would love to get the chat's thoughts on this. I came across a Riftbound Twitter discourse where everyone was saying that Scuttle Crab is actually bad and you shouldn't be playing it. And
So
it was like really contested. And
have any combat orientation outside
but look, it
of
came
Yi.
down, it drew a card, and it's conquering early.
But it has no combat orientation outside of Yi.
So are you a Scuttle Crab hater?
Oh, I don't.
Do you play it in your Yi deck?
Yes, I do play it in my Yi deck.
Okay.
But why would I not play it in my Yi deck? Because it draws a card, lets me look at an opponent's hand, and defends for 2. In every other deck, it's just a 0. It's
That's true.
pretty bad in anything but Yi, unless you're just trying to draw cards and just have a body.
I just thought it was interesting because I feel like every time we see Scuttle Crab, it's like I would just like to put a free body that replaces itself in my hand onto the battlefield that also looks at your hand when I die. Like that seems like a really powerful effect, and they were all just like,
Oh no, it's strong. Like I'm not a hater. One, I'll put that out there. I really enjoy Scuttle Crab. I just don't think it's as powerful as a lot of people swear it by. It's,
okay,
To me, it's just a mediocre card if I'm not playing Yi.
I see. So you really value the ability to give it the 2 might when it's defending alone.
100%. That's what makes it the most powerful because now you still have to trade with it.
This is a great start if you're playing here on the side of Jax. I mean, getting an early sabotage off can let you like kind of.
But it
get your
does
tempo
not
up.
feel great to see a Gust, Bellows Breath, and a Wages of Pain.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
Because now you know it doesn't matter what you do.
Which one
if-
are you taking here, though?
Me, I'm taking Bellows Breath. 100%.
Oh, well,
'Cause-
we'll see if that was the right move. He did not take the Bell's breath.
He took the Wages because he wants his first mate to actually conquer.
Yeah.
Which is why I was saying it was tough to see those 3 specifics. Yeah, and then we're going to discipline to 5, get out of that 3 might range for Gust. Because, like, this is where I take Bellows Breath, right? Because if you had that discipline anyways, you let your opponent tap out, discipline, and then you're taking both battlefields. They can't Gust your Scuttle Crab. But we did
second
have the second
sabotage.
one, so we're just going to take that.
Oh.
Because, like, see, look, if you had 2 sabotages here, now you're taking Bellows Breath and Pack, 2 of the most strongest control cards in this deck. You don't care about Wages of Pain because they're not hiding it. That's 3 energy they're not using on their turn. And you don't really care about Gust because it's going to let you reuse the Scuttle Crab to draw more cards.
So you think that that was a misplay?
100%.
Okay. Well, let's see. The Bellows breath is going to clean
'Cause
up
look,
the back. Yeah, right.
now
That's a 2 for 1.
Now you have no board.
Yep.
You could
get
have
to
had
draw
a
off the
board.
Ezreal.
And Bellows Breath is a 1-mana draw
Oh my
card.
God.
So, like,
The
yeah.
singularity pickup there. That's curtains.
Like, I'm not saying you're in a better position or anything because of what we know in this.
Yeah, I will
Ezreal's hand,
say-
but Bellows Breath being taken out of that hand at least lets you progress your board state and stops multiple shenanigans versus a shenanigan.
I will say that I think it's kind of a moot point given the singularity coming off the top, just as that ultimate removal spell.
Well, yeah, but think about it now. Like, he Bellows Breath this, and now he gets the singularity, anything else.
No, yeah.
Versus you can only
And then-
singularity and then a Wages, but if you're singularity, you're probably not going to be able to Wages.
Yeah, and
Even
that-
though we draw another Wage.
We drew another wage, right? And that fizz is known information. So, I mean, I guess that's the other thing. Like, I guess Sabotage does recycle the card.
Yeah,
So, it doesn't get put in the bin for fizz.
Yep.
But fizz will come back.
Because, like, now he has access to Bellows Breath again.
Do you think he's going to Bellows Breath or turn to Dust?
No, he's
he's going to Bellows Breath. Just
Yep.
pop the creature. Yeah.
Yep. Just in case you buff it
Draw
again.
another card.
Because like,
So-
you take Bella's Breath, he doesn't get to draw 2 cards off that Ezreal unless he's spending more resources.
It does look like the chat might have correctly predicted this matchup. As if I'm the Jax player with 1 card in my hand, we are quickly approaching scoop phase. But actually, I believe in the comeback.
Nah, it's too far for
He
the
said
Ezreal at this
nah.
point. Like, and like this is also why a lot of people say
it's the Stella Cord.
just play Yi, because Yi here has Rengar.
Yeah.
Jax could have it too, but that is your main plan in Yi. Versus Jax, your main plan isn't necessarily Rengar; it's just a secondary. You have Rune Runners that you're maining.
Do you think Ezreal is better than the other purple-blue decks?
It just depends on what you want to play. Because
Ezreal is a true control deck.
Because right now, Ezreal, Mel, and Diana are kind of a playstyle locked decks. So where if you want more aggression, you play Diana because it focuses Moonfall. If you want more controlling aspects, you play Ezreal because you just draw a bunch of cards and don't necessarily have to play the game of Riftbound.
Yeah.
And then you can play. Right now, Mel's the only dark horse of blue purple because she just came out. There's no like concurrent build for her. Everybody's still in testing phases. Versus the other two, you know what you're playing in Diana. You know what you're playing in Ezreal.
See,
you
but-
just have your own personal choices at the end of the day.
But even then, I feel like if I would like Ezreal, seems like he would get shredded by like Ambessa, where you just like get the fights off and you can't like there just seem. I guess maybe this is my thought, but this just seems incredibly oppressive. But I can't tell if it's just
100% is a
Jax is
incredibly
like, not
no
a good deck,
Ezreal is just an oppressive deck in
I see.
general.
Okay.
And Ace Attorney has been playing this Ezreal deck since set 2, I
Okay.
believe, when Ezreal came out. So he's very accustomed to what he needs to do. He's very
gosh.
knowledgeable about what you're playing and what he needs to interact with.
You know what? I'll give June this. He is a very good sport because he just took remove your thing, temporary your equipment, probably get rid of your last card, and he smiled and nodded. And
Yeah, he's a very fun player to be next to when you're playing or playing against. He just makes you laugh, you know.
You know what,
he
though?
really makes you feel like what League wants you to do is I'm making friends in the process.
I will say that if I'm June, I'm going to make you play out your win. I'm going to make you conquer and take these. You're going to play the game of Riftbound. I'm going to make you. We're going to play 4 more turns where you hold.
Well, because another strategy for people to do into Ezreal
okay. That's actually pretty great.
is because they don't take a lot of points. You as the player can prolong the game, so that way you're pretty much only playing 2 games, right?
Are you able to play for time in Riftbound?
So there is no more time. It is up to the TO if you're doing either 10 minutes or you're doing 3 turns, and best of you have to win by 2.
Ezreal's struggle is the camels more than anything.
Yeah, because you can't target camels. So if you can't target the unit, Ezreal will start to fumble because it doesn't fight you very well.
I see.
So like Baron,
Yeah, singularity does not work well if you can't target them.
right?
Are there edicts in Riftbound?
There's a card called King Edict.
Like, does it make your opponent sacrifice a unit?
No.
Look at that.
There's
Homage.
Divine Judgment, where you sack everything you have.
will be the scoop.
Ruins, cards in hand, units, gear, all sacked down to 2. We do have Call of the Week for edicts. We now have Safety Inspector, I believe, is a unit that edicts.
Okay.
But all right, so we have Azir versus another Kennen. This is actually a very nice matchup since Azir goes wide enough to be able to fight the Kennen and can also go tall enough to be able to combat itself on defense. It's really up to the Kennen and how do you handle the wider range of soldiers that the Azir makes.
Yeah, and I'm not quite sure where we're at in this match. Is game 3 1-1? Okay, game 3 1-1. Looks like we're starting off strong.
Is it the word? Yeah, I was gonna say like I don't think Kennen really has much into Azir just because of what it can do with the rise and how fast it is.
I think that they should make a faker Azir card. That'd be awesome. I love Azir. I'm terrible at playing that champion, but they call me Shaker, the killable demon king. When I play that champion, I be inting live on stream for my team, but I'm gonna try to do something cool, and it's not gonna work out.
I feel like that's me and Riven right now. It's just inting because I keep trying to do those wall jumps.
Oh my
And then
gosh.
I'll fail, and I'm like, well, looks like I'm fighting 1v3.
My favorite argument my coach ever got into was when he asked my mid laner if he knew that he was not required to go in with Azir and that he was a DPS backline champion. And it was so funny because he was like, yeah, I know that. He's like, well, I've never seen you do it. And it was great. Azir looking at nothing but a gray screen. Yep,
Yep.
same. But this Azir actually looking at some battlefields while these point totals are up. Kennen has the luxury of looking at some really pretty runes. But when that little stream dice on your legend is only at 1 or 0 versus the 1,
Yeah,
it
and-
doesn't help.
Well, we got some runes to work on the Azir's end.
We got a
but-
Nocturne.
Hey.
It's all right, let's go.
First Nocturne of the Cannons. Let's go.
Or do you think Azir is a good deck?
Yes.
Okay.
Azir is definitely a tier 1 deck. It goes wide. It has a very wonderful signature spell. Champion is
Is
very
it
strong.
Emperor's Divide?
No.
Oh, well, I don't know. That's his ultimate in League of Legends.
Yeah,
I just don't know.
Arise
Huh?
is the name of his signature spell.
Rise?
Arise.
Oh,
It
Rise. Oh, I
creates
see.
a
I see. Okay.
two might Sand Soldier unit per equipment that you have, and 2 of them come ready.
Okay. Ride the Wind here. Going to be...
And then Azir just kind of does what Jax wants to do, and it's just auto equip.
I see. Because we will conquer.
Yeah, and I think we're doing that just so that way we don't get hit with like an on guard or something. But we do change our mind, and we are going to play it there. Clear the battlefields. Mill 2. I see an Up from the Deep. Your favorite card so far.
Dude, Up from the Deep is awesome. I love that card. Okay, but hear me out. Azir for equip, right? But is Jace better than Azir?
As far as gear, no.
Dang.
As far as the deck, I think it just determines, but Azir does pretty well into Aurora anyways.
Fair.
So like
I just got the what was it, the blue orange Jace at pre-Rift. I thought he looked pretty cool. So I wasn't sure if he was good.
He's pretty strong. He's the new turn to Aurora player. You can also just go Infinite Jace as well, but as of right now, yeah, it's just one of those decks that it's in the same category as Lee Sin, where unlike Lee Sin, it is the only deck of its color pair.
Okay.
But like Lee Sin, is a very niche strategy in what the legend itself can do and what the champions are capable of. Like, it's not like a Kaisa, right, or like Yeez and stuff like that, where you're getting generic value from your champions. Jace is very niche specific. Like, the 4-drop blue one interacts with equipment.
And
You don't even have the 7-drop equipment Vanguard Armory in your colors to really utilize it.
that makes sense. I think it's so interesting to me to figure out the different archetypes that all of these legends occupy, and the fact that there can be multiple color pairings where there just isn't an optimal like build for that color pairing. There can be multiple legends that occupy the space, at least in certain color pairings. But I also like the fact that there are certain color pairings that have a very niche strategy that like occupies it as its main thing.
Well, that's what I like about Riftbound is there's no optimal strategy in either color or color pairs. It's just a matter of what engine are you trying to do, right?
Yeah.
Because like you look at Irelia. Irelia's engine is Stellarcorn, and then in the same way that Vex's Legends engine is Vex.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you're not drawing as much as Vex or as Irelia's Stellarcorn, but you're scoring technically more
Gosh,
points than Irelia in
These
some
sand
cases.
soldiers are relentless.
Yeah. Yeah, they just keep on coming as long as you have equipment. Just
And-
don't brick.
I mean, Kennen was able to get out both the Rasa and the Nocturne.
A lot easier than our other one.
Yeah,
so
right.
this is going to be very hard, but yeah, we're just going to stun it, draw a card, It's gonna go through. Yep, there we go. Yeah, once you see the Hall of Legends for Azir, you're really gonna see the power of it.
Are you allowed to play altered cards in Riftbound?
Yes,
Like
it does go down to the judge's discretion, but altered cards, as long as it doesn't cover or change the perception of information on the card. So like the energy, the might, any wording, like its text, its tags and stuff like that. So as long as you're not changing the fundamental card
tentacle
itself,
tokens.
you're fine. But other than that, it's really just down to the judge's discretion.
I would love some Hall of Legends cards signed. Like, what if you got the Hall of Legends cards signed by like Uzi and Faker? Did you see they announced a Hall of Legends for Caps? He's the next Hall of Legends inductee.
Okay.
His skin is going to be for Tristana,
Ooh.
which I thought was pretty cool considering. I mean, when you think of Tristana mid lane, you definitely think of Caps and Perks. I mean, there was a short period like a year and a half ago where, or I think it's like 2 years ago now, where 80 carries were in the mid lane again. But those two definitely. So it's kind of cool. But we will see the Rasa be taken out here. Nocturne is going to be challenged. Ooh. I'm noticing a bit of sass with the cards from the Kennen player. The Teemo hat might be shielding the smoke. Wrath needs to make a third token from that Arise. Did he miss a token?
I'm assuming so. Wrath only made 2 tokens. Yeah.
Is that something that we would...
At this point, I don't know if we can just give him that. Because like they've already made new. Because like the other interactions that we've had, we were able to stop it right then and there.
Yeah.
Before information was made. I believe he still gets it. Because yeah, it's not like you said, Jacob. It's not a miss trigger. It has to happen. So I'm pretty sure he still gets that too.
Well, I think they actually caught it.
Okay, yeah, there we
Yeah,
go. And
okay.
they caught it
Look at that.
anyways. So players keeping themselves in check.
Look at that.
Because yeah, it's not a miss trigger. So like.
He just is required to make it.
Right.
Nice.
But we do see another Arise in him with a couple more gears, so we'll definitely see some more units coming out.
It's called integrity right there.
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't realize Wrath plays as Azir too. He's usually like a Set, Lilia. He played a little bit of Diana type
It's
of
so
deck.
Jover. I mean, you're not wrong.
But like, yeah, this is why it's very hard for Kennen to beat Azir, because like, oh, you got rid of these units that I made for playing just one card anyways. Well, here's about 7 more.
Yeah.
Throughout the game. Especially when you start getting those Doran shields on your really beefy ones. That's when it really gets nice.
Once again, here at Nerd Rage, we pride ourselves on our rune game. You can and the new tentacle tokens from the, what was that box called? I got one.
The Vault.
The Vault. Yeah, the tentacle tokens from the Vault look
Yep,
pretty
set
sick.
for Vault. They have shadow clones on the backside.
Dude, they do look sick. I really want to play Zed, but I got told that Zed was a bad deck.
That's
So-
pretty good, actually. Like
Really?
it's
I thought Zed looked like the art looked really cool, but then they were like, someone at Pre-Rift was like, "Don't build Zed, just build Mel." So I built Mel.
100%. Yeah, Azir players only care about that one energy gear. As many turn 1 plays as you can.
It's all fun and game, dude. I'll tell you,
And we're
Riftbound,
Starcross, the brutalized Sand Soldier.
that's pretty good. I mean, bouncing a token is nice because I assume it functions just like Magic, where the token just dies.
Yeah, token
that is,
just
that is
dissipates.
nice.
Yeah, but like at the same time, it's like that. You're bouncing. It's like bouncing a tentacle token, right? You're not really bouncing anything
Yeah.
impactful.
I mean, and to do
made
it off
that.
of Fizz, right? You're recycling 2 runes,
Right, to get rid of a token that he paid 1 energy for. Like
Yeah.
that's kind of a downsize, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
It does look like we're just gonna send in the tentacles, though.
Yeah, we're just gonna clear. It looks like
Oh
we're
my
gonna
gosh.
ride the wind this Fizz over to the minefield. Yep. Ride them when the fizz over.
Siding in Downwell. Yeah.
Yeah, but there are a lot of Kennen lists now are playing treasure hunters at either 2 or 3 copies. So you'll start to get, and they're playing seals. Was that double last
Double
rights?
last rights for the bid.
Oh, that hurts.
Dude, I mean, I would look at him. He is not thrilled about that.
But yeah, Jacob, with Kennen's running like 3 seals, playing treasure hunters, like we saw in the Pike game.
There's
with,
the third
with
Arise.
Treasure Horde.
Do we think we're gonna see a scoop?
Yeah, we're gonna see a
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
scoop. There we go. Yeah, there's not much you can do when you're
and
just
the
getting free
Defy.
units.
Oh my gosh,
So
that was pretty rough.
But yeah, there we go. Round 2 went to Kennen for that last game. So that was pretty nice to see. Kennen's definitely in a very interesting spot in the meta. Your deck plays itself, so it's going to play right or it's not.
I don't think we've seen a Kennen win a match yet.
Last week.
Did we see one?
Yeah,
win
I
last?
think it won back-to-back games.
Okay.
Or no, it didn't,
Nocturnes
because
in
it lost to Mbessa in back-to-back games.
Yeah,
So yeah, I don't think we have a Kennen win actually.
It's probably one of those decks that feels really good to Goldfish. But
Actually, I think it's one of those decks that if you go fish too much, that's where Kennen's bad comes from. Is because it's like, oh, it does so well when I go fish,
Yeah.
but then it does nothing when I go to Nexus Nights.
no, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's probably one of those, like, you think you're going to go and kick butt at Nexus Night, and then you show up to Nexus Night, and you're like, all right, Lightning, nothing. Okay, stack deck, nothing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's because you're doing all that go fishing at home, it just feels like, oh man, screw this. When you're actually playing people that you're telling the deck is good. But
You do get to put your opponents in, like, the 35 to minute 30 cutscene.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm going to start looking at the top. We'll see if we find anything.
Yeah.
If not, you're good. You'll win. If it does, you're gonna have to figure out how to deal with these.
yeah.
But
That's where I think Kennen is hard to really fit itself in the meta right now, is because even if you as the pilot can figure out how to make those boards, the deck doesn't necessarily always be able to do that. So I think the deck is more based on, can the deck play itself more than can the pilot play it. Even though back in this first round I was like, it comes down to the pilot. Kennen is a deck made of itself. It's a solitaire deck. It's either, is it seeing the Nocturnes, is it seeing the Rasas? If I'm not seeing those 2 specific cards in these games, I'm losing every time.
you know what it feels like a lot as someone coming from Magic? It feels a lot like playing against a dredge deck, where you're
told someone that
basically
yesterday,
like,
yeah.
I'm just gonna continuously fill my trash, and I'm gonna have all these things that interact with my trash. None of them really interact with you.
Yep.
Like, I have a little bit of stuff that like helps me stay alive, but for the most part, it's just like, fill my trash. All my stuff comes back from the trash. I try to kill you with it. If it doesn't work, like you have a board wipe or something that gets rid of my trash, it's like, thanks for playing.
Yeah, shovel is another important piece, but still, like with shovel, you need those Rasas, you need those Nocturnes
Yeah.
in order to close the game out. Shovel just helps it keep it functioning until you find those pieces. So like shovel is more of that secondary piece, I think.
I did like that true combo of mill double shovel into scoop. That was pretty brutal.
Yeah, dug yourself a grave, so it hurts.
All right, are we gonna take?
Tell them to stick around. 3-0s get an Origins Nexus Night pick.
Oh, well, stick around and see who wins those Nexus Nights packs, because you have to go undefeated, and I think we might only have 2 next round, or is it 1?
Yeah, we'll have like 2 rounds going on the
Yeah, so we might have 2 undefeateds next round.
somebody gets the team.
Okay, so stick around. We'll be right back here.
Last Rights isn't
Oh.
going to be Yorick's signature. His ultimate is going to be his signature, same way Vex has Shadow. But all right, we'll catch you all later.
Yes, we will be right
Okay, just-
back.
And we're back. So I did see who we were going to say at the top tables. We have our Mbessa from last week. Do you think he can claw it back out against, I believe he's playing the Ezreal we saw last round, and take another 3-0?
Yes.
You think so?
I think Ambessa is a deck that will prey on the fact that the small units are able to be spot removed. And then when you don't have the units to flicker and bounce to accrue value, I think the Ezreal deck will be far worse off.
Okay.
What are your thoughts? You think Ezreal will take down the Ambessa?
I actually don't know too much about this matchup. Mbessa does play a lot of small might units.
Okay. Well, we'll get the poll going just to
and
see what
then-
the viewers think.
But Mbessa does have Mbessa Orange Champion in its
Okay.
favor, which says she cannot take damage outside of combat. So,
Yeah.
like your not falling stars, your singularities, your bellows breath, those will not be able to do damage to that Mbessa if empowered.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty strong. I mean, I think Ambessa is going to have it. I mean, I think also if you're able to play Sabotage against Ezreal, getting in a controlled player's hand is always good, no matter what game you're playing. In my experience, like if you're playing Thoughtseize against a control deck, you're going to be very, very well off.
Yeah.
It's one of the reasons why I think that like Scuttlecrab is good into control decks, because you even once they spend that removal spell, you've replaced the card, so you're technically up a card, and then you also get to see their hand. Like I think it's pretty good.
Yeah, but this isn't Magic where you have to be able to score.
Oh, look at that. The Ezreal, he had the finesse in the hands there. And you know what? It's going to win him the roll.
There we go. Well, let's see if that wins in the match.
Yes.
So this will be a interesting matchup for Ezreal, since Mbessa is a very hit-and-run style like Jax was, but Mbessa's Legend is what enables that hit-and-run. So
your official prediction here is for the Ezreal to win.
No, I think my official prediction might be Mbessa, but I think I will stick with the Ezreal to win this one, honestly. I think it just has too much removal and ways to get around what Mbessa's trying to do.
Yeah. And I mean, how could you lose with two beautiful Spear Forge runes like that? The answer is you can't.
And your opponent's not even min-maxing his runes? Yeah, I think Ezreal might get this off that alone.
Ambessa, rarity.
I don't know. Look at that. We
flex.
just drew a blue one that's not max rarity anymore. So I don't know.
Yeah, you're right. Actually, I think all the aura from those runes is gone once you have one that doesn't match. But
all right, so we have an empowered 2-drop from the Mbessa, starting off very nice because it is a 3-drop or a 3 might now, so it does not die to a straight up Bellows Breath and Stupefy.
Ambessa gets to play the camels, right?
Yes, any orange deck gets to play those camels. It's just a matter of, does Mbessa play camels or is Mbessa playing Gangplank? Because they both effectively will do the same thing against this Ezreal. It's just the only difference is that the camel does not have to be empowered, and camel does not die to singularity.
Look at that. That is what we can diagnose that as an evil Ezreal player right there. He gussed that unit right back to the hand. You look at the screen, he's chuckling to himself. The other guy nods his head, pure disgust. I could think of nothing worse. At least there wasn't a Ravenbloom student that got stronger there as well.
Yep, played 2 mites, ready 1, score.
Look at that. Nonchalantness from the Mbessa. That's really, like, you got to just act like it doesn't matter, because then the Ezreal player doesn't think, like, oh, should I have to do anything about that? You just got to be like, oh, yeah, just play it.
And because we're on this battlefield, that will more than likely be a free empower. Yep, there we go, free empower. Now it's back to 3 might. And this is where this Mbessa, just like last week, playing those multiple units a turn is going to really come in favor.
You know, as someone who did a small amount of research, I think it's safe to say that Mbessa should not be playing Seals. As someone who played an additional week of Riftbound between that statement and this week, I can verify that deck just wants to play units.
Yeah. What made you come to this conclusion?
You know, I just realized that Mbessa is really good when it has a lot of units on the board, and then it makes those units really big. And And then you just, like, if you're playing blue-purple, you're just like, I have one unit that I want to move around and do cool things with. And they're like, sick, that guy is dead.
Yeah.
And you're like, that's wonderful. And then you're like, I have all these cool spells. And they're like, let me look at your hand and take the best one. But we do see Ezreal come down. That's going to drop off the tome here.
No, I don't.
Or no, that's the
I wonder if we're going to
trove.
protect this Ezreal with this pack. We are not. So, like, this might be where it becomes difficult for Ezreal in the Mbessa matchup because Mbessa does carry a lot of removal. So you don't take a lot of points, and Mbessa can fight you in base, leaving you susceptible to lose those units. And if you can get Ezreal to only spells, eventually they're just going to run out of gas.
Yeah, right. I do think this is like, I think that unlike other matchups, Mbessa, you really need to get the claws in early, because if Mbessa is able to, like you said, like get a board presence, and I think something important here is keeping your units in different locations prevents you getting blown out by those bellows breaths.
Yes, it
so
does.
keeping one at a battlefield and then kind of like off conquering of holding one and then conquering the other does prevent the blowout here. And the Mbessa player also knowing that they do not have to overcommit to the board, I think is good, right? Like if the control deck is being pressured and you force them to present answers, you're not required to keep dedicating your pieces. So you can just, put the Mbessa.
And then we're going to empower the Mbessa to protect it from any damage. That's
Yeah.
nice.
And I mean, we do see the singularity over in the hand of Ezreal. So it's like, that feels pretty bad to look at. Like you can singularity the other two units, but like you have to deal with this Mbessa somehow, and with the fight spells, it's not going to get it's not going to get better.
Well, one thing you can do as an Ezreal in purple is just let your opponent waste their resources to do those fight spells and just Starcross in response with a different unit.
That's true.
So like Ezreal has its ways out, but I think the Mbessa being protected from damage and being a 7 might is really strong.
Yeah.
Because, like, this Ezreal has no way to... Because in this game, there's no way to kill a unit unless you deal damage to it. Obviously, you can be yellow and just have the straight-up kills. But in any other color, you have to deal damage, and then you have to reduce the might to equal that damage. So that's going to be real tough on this Mbessa to not be able to deal damage and have to bounce it, which is going to feel bad because that limits your options for other units.
Yeah. I do think that, the singularity would help stem the bleeding, but I don't necessarily... Okay, we are just going to go for the bellows here.
Yeah, you save singularity because you need... Singularity is your only out to Gangplank.
Yeah.
Without singularity, Gangplank is going to run you over since nothing else in your deck, because you can't bounce it, you can't reduce it, can't do anything like that.
We see the list.
Yep, get rid of the both 2 units.
So what is the name on that list?
I'm assuming Noxus, to be honest with you. But I don't remember what that 2-drop tags are and if it shares one with Mbessa. Because if it does, then it would be the Noxus tag. If it doesn't, then it would be whatever else it has. Could be Shurima, but because it's an orange card in Mbessa's set,
Noxus.
it would be Noxus. So let's see what this Mbessa does here. We're 3-0 in points. I'm just going to take the Risen Altar, go to 4.
This is what you have to do against Ezreal, right? You just have to put the pressure on. You have to present conquers.
100%. Like, any way you can continuously get points against an Ezreal is what you want to do, because they're just going to keep looking to prolong you. Like, you can't always expect your base units to be safe with how this Ezreal deck rolls.
Yeah. It is hard because, like, at a certain point, you don't... Like, this Mbessa does seem like kind of the golden unit, right? Like, if you can kind of just sit it out here, and if they can't deal damage to it, and there is no bounce, yeah, like, the hands go up.
Yeah, but Mbessa still has to be wary of Watcher. Because Watcher is another way to get around Gangplank and get around Mbessa. Because it will reduce the might and then you'll be able to go over it. But Mbessa being an orange has a lot of combat spells, especially Guttural Roar, which gives +2 to a friendly unit, and then if that unit is empowered, give an additional +2, so it gives it +4.
Yeah, I mean, Punch Up also a notably good buffing card. But
So,
the list is named on
and
Noxus.
then I wonder if this is the infamous yellow cannon that Miyuki loves to play in this list.
I mean, Yellow Cannon is a good card.
Yeah, it's one of the best yellow cards to come out right now.
So I believe that is a minus. What is that? Is that a -4 to from the list? I believe he did it twice.
If he did it twice, yes, it would be -4.
So now the MS is a 3.
Yes.
Okay. You think Ezreal's going to go in there and tussle with Mbessa?
Not yet, at the very least. Because like you said, there's still Punch First. We still have Toro Roars. So this Ezreal is definitely very aware that on 6 runes from Mbessa, there's quite a lot that you can do. Yeah, I think we're just going to look to bounce it, not even go to combat, because you also don't know what this hidden card is. And if that hidden card is like a Hidden Blade or a Yellow Cannon, you just threw away your Ezreal for nothing. Yep,
It is Yellow Cannon.
So then the Yellow Cannon at least lets you hold. You
No
don't
target
get
to stun.
Right, you don't get the stun, unfortunately, but at least it's a start, right? Like you're still presenting points.
You thought he'd get to hold it. Unfortunately, Bellow's breath.
Hey, that's why I said like even base units aren't safe from this Ezreal, so you can't expect your battlefield units to be safe. Like that's the main priority for you to be at.
True. We love it when Ornn is playable. We love Ornn.
Yeah, there are some Ezrealists that do bring Ornn out the sideboard.
Like straight up Ornn.
Yeah, blue
Okay.
Ornn, because pack, list, if they run seals and you have multiple of those out, those are additional might added to the Ornn with Deflect 2.
Control decks don't really want to play seals though, right?
So, like I said last week, it depends on how power hungry you are. If you're looking to spend powers out the wazoo, you need to be playing seals and making gold, so that way you're not just ruining your rune
Economy.
resource.
Yeah.
But if you're only looking to spend 1 to 2 runes across three turns, right? You don't need to be playing seals because you're getting to that energy resource to be able to play
Yeah.
multiple spells.
It does look like this is where things start to get a little more difficult. We do have 4 mana.
Yeah, because this is
4 runes.
This is where Ezreal starts to turn in the corner. Is when it gets you into an empty board state and forces you to either go wide, so you can't die to a Bellows Breath, but if you don't go wide enough, it doesn't work. And it leaves you in a position of, do I hold up responses and not progress my board? So I think this is where Ezreal is going to start taking that corner and putting the pressure on Mbessa to either start closing this game out because you are halfway there, or we're just going to sit here long enough to call this an Aspirant Climb game.
Yes. It looks like I'm a bit curious of what is in the Mbessa's hand. I mean, they seem to be aware that
wanna say
they
it's
can't really dedicate anything else to
Roar.
the board.
Yeah, because you just get Ezreal Fizzed right here with that Bellows Breath that he's shown, and he has 2 packs for the list. Like, you're not keeping anything on that board.
Yeah, and also like keeping your hand full so that when the sprite comes down, you're able to retain the cards you really do want in your hand is also pretty important.
Yep.
If you have that one spell that you think is going to be the push to win the game, being able to keep your hand full of 7 cards, like he's going to have to flicker that thing 6 times before he's presenting the ability. But it does look like Fizz is going to come down here, target the Bellows Breath.
And then we're going to keep Tactical Retreat. So now if this Mbessa dies this turn, it'll just get recalled instead.
Was that a hard bargain paid twice?
Yes.
I see. I
So
was like, he has the 2.
Yeah, so either he pays 4 or that goes through. I'm going to pick up the Fizz.
And I do think that was probably the corner.
Yeah, I think that is definitely the corner. You lost your biggest out to this Ezreal right now. So it's either you dig for this Gangplank or the game might just be over from there.
Oh, maybe he has the card that hits the yard again.
Disposable orders.
Yeah.
Hopefully. I think that's a sideboard card. So this being game 1, you won't really have access to that since you don't know what decks you're playing against.
go in for the Conqueror.
Yeah, just using Bessa, do the hit and run, scores to 5, and then hide another cannon, I'm assuming, and say go.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much. I mean, any of these quick points that you can get out, right, like between first mates and other cards, is going to be what hopefully gets you across the finish line. But we do just see...
Nope, hidden blade.
Yep.
Try to draw some more cards. Get some more answers. Because, like, Ezreal's still at 0, so he's presenting that you have time.
Yeah.
Like, I might be getting rid of all your early game units now, but eventually I won't be able to. You know, because the more you fizz, the less
here's the
options
sprite.
you have.
The sprite takes its first victim, which looks like
A Gatoro Roar and a Punch First.
Yeah.
You know, 2 cards you don't necessarily need without a board.
True. But like we talked about, keeping that hand so healthy means that you get the luxury of getting rid of the cards you really don't need,
Yep.
and being able to hold on to the cards that you want in this matchup.
Because I'm pretty sure all Ambess is looking to do is just find its gangplank, find as many units as it can, and just try to protect itself from these fizz loops. Right? Because, like, Ezreal's probably playing multiple copies of these same spells, and fizz is going to be picked up by these Pack of Wonders. So there's just a lot that you have to account for on the Abyss's end.
Looks like the Ambessa does have another unit to present.
Play a Kale. And Kale's another nice unit against this Ezreal list because you can empower it 3 different times. And then when it does be empowered the 3rd time, it gets deflect 3.
Yeah.
So then that really ruins the economy of the Ezreal just for trying to get rid of it. Because, like, the list is -3 ruins. Bellows is -3 ruins. If you target twice, that's -6 ruins. Starcross is still -3 ruins, and being able to take your Ezreal off of multiple plays in a turn is really how you beat them. I'm going to ready the kill, just take those free points, because now, ready the kill for 2, or empower the kill for 2, and then I would, in fact, empower this kill again, just because you get the deflect.
He is passing.
I mean, he probably has some type of interaction in hand. It could be like a key barrier. It could be another tactical retreat. I don't know if he's running a main board repulse at the current moment. So there's got to be something he has. It also could be, too, for a Gatoro Roar. Let your Ezreal player drop that not Mind Splitter, Thousand Tail Watcher. Gives -3 to the Kale, but the Gatoro Roar is going to give it -4.
I should probably play that in Mel, huh? Watcher.
100%. Every blue deck should have at least one.
They're like super expensive though right now, aren't they?
No, I mean, it's $20. Probably find it 18 somewhere. A lot of the orange. So like I've been playing since Origins. So when people say these cards are super expensive, it's like a giggle to me because it's like, yeah, no, it's not. Like Watchers used to be like $50, $60. Like it's. All these cards are a third.
Well, I am
of the
like
price that it
I'm
used to be,
familiar
so.
with Magic prices too. So like someone was like, "Oh dang, you really are gonna buy stack decks?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'll spend $20 to get a playset of a card. That's not like what I'm used to paying $40 a land. What? These are rookie numbers,
Right?
Someone never had to build Modern Jund in 2016, where your mana base is $600 for no reason.
Oh, 100%. Like, I just got my cousin into Riftbound because he was originally thinking he wanted to play Modern, and I told him the same thing. I was like, why spend $200 on your land base when you can spend probably $40 to $50 on your ruin base?
Exactly.
And be done.
Exactly. It's all Blink
Right?
too, and we really appreciate our rune maxers here at Nerd Rage Gaming. As Ezreal will spend the gold and an additional rune.
Get rid of this Kale.
And I have to wonder if getting that Kale, that 3rd in power, to get the double or the 3 deflect was worth it.
Yep. I mean, we saw the tactical retreat, so it's like.
I mean, there was an attempt, right?
Right. I think the Ambessa player was trying to play around a Watcher more than it was trying to play around a Singularity. So,
Which I think both were in the hand, so I think it was rough either way. I think there is a Watcher
Let's see. Yep, there is every watcher.
Which, yeah, the Mbessa slow nod. Yeah.
Yeah.
Story checks out.
So, like, if this Mbessa played, did the full empowering, puts that kill to 9, you don't save it. Because it would lose by 1 to the Watcher.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's why it saved the 2 runes for the tactical retreat. And
Which
then,
makes sense.
Yeah, but then it's also like, it's just that tough position that Ezreal players put you in is like, what do you play around?
So here's the real question. Have we gotten to scoop phase?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think once you saw that singularity, and then you looked at the hand and you saw a Watcher, I think you definitely entered scoop phase. But...
here we go. We're in there.
Yep. And Mbessa is a hit and run deck. So as long as you're drawing empowered units and your Ezreal isn't ready, you can always just play a unit, ready it, and score.
Yeah.
So like you can get these 2 quick couple of points. But I think we're just going to give it like maybe 2 or 3 draws before we truly sign into the scoop phase.
Oh.
This is a good comeback. I believe it gets deflect and +1 might. So, you know, kind of a little bit of what that Kale was doing. Yep, get rid of this Fizz.
Oh.
But we do have a Stupefy, and unless we have another one, we're just going to trade here anyways. But getting any unit off the board. Yep, and there we go. Scoop phase.
Shake it off. Look at him.
But coming out of sideboard, Mbessa, not only does it have the main board sabotages, also gets sideboard decrees.
I think I want to play Ezreal. Watching these other, watching what's happening to other players makes me want to play Ezreal.
So one thing I tell all people that say that, Ezreal is a very knowledge-based deck.
True.
You either need to really have an understanding of the meta or really have an understanding of card pool, because you need to know when to play certain cards, how to play certain cards, and what your opponent is going to be playing after you play these cards.
So you're telling me that Ezreal is actually a perfect deck to get good at Riftbound, because you're required to learn the card base and the meta.
Yes and no. Ezreal's a good deck to know the card pool. Not necessarily a good deck to get good at Riftbound, because you are one of the few decks that doesn't care about scoring. So you're bypassing the important part of Riftbound, which is point tracking.
I see.
So like Ezreal's a good deck to like how I played Lantern Control in Modern. I played Lantern Control so I could read cards in Modern, and understand the game and see where people are doing and what I need to play against or what I might want to do in the future.
Of course, when Mox Opals weren't $200, right?
Mox Opal was actually banned when I picked up the deck.
As it should be.
Yeah,
As it rightfully
literally,
should be.
Mox Opal got banned probably a week after I bought all the cards.
Dude, I'll never forgive MTG Finance, bro. I sold my place at a Mox Opals at $50 after I bought them at $110, and I want to say it wasn't like that soon after. It was probably like a year after they got unbanned in Modern and they went crazy. Yeah. But I was like, no one in my play group was playing Commander with Mox Opals in their Commander decks, so I was like, okay, I'll just get rid of these, and that was bad. That was a bad mistake. They notably 4x'd, so not like the currency exchange, but like 4 times.
So then we got Sandswept Tomb for Mbessa, and I believe that is Frozen Fortress?
I don't think so.
Nope, not at all. Sigil of the Storm.
Yeah.
As soon as I saw the glare leave, I was like, yep, nope, name's too long.
All right, if you are in our chat here and you think that the Mbessa is going to win, let us know how you think Mbessa is going to make this comeback and make it happen. Otherwise, the chat did already predict Ezreal as the winner, so we will see if Ezreal can close it out. But we have a 2
we have a turn
cost
1
unit, so we're pretty good start here.
And then, so it looks like this Ezreal is going to take more of a backseat route in the beginning. Has a couple stack decks. I think he has a pack to start doing the treasure trove loop. Ooh, Gus is and that's just a real strong showing of what point tracking really does to you, because now the Mbessa can't just squeak by holding on 6 and then scoring to 8. Now you're really keeping the Mbessa on their toes and saying, I'll prolong this until I get to the point that I need to get.
And the Mbessa player is not happy about that gust. The
Yeah,
the reaction was not thrilled.
I'm pretty sure that Mbessa wanted to play Mbessa that turn. But
Yeah.
getting gusted meant if you play Mbessa there, the Ezreal is just going to have a full field day with it. So you play 2 units to force them to Bellows Breath.
Oh
Yeah.
my
But
gosh.
unfortunately, Ezreal Bellows Breath combo is just way too good.
You see the absolute in the hand. That's going to be, I think, the nail in the coffin when it gets used. I believe that the absolute power
Unchecked power?
Unchecked power. There we go. Yeah, the unchecked power in hand is going to be brutal when it comes down.
So I don't think unchecked power is as strong in Ezreal as it is in other decks because of how easy it is for Ezreal to kind of get rid of your board.
That's true.
I think it's just more of a sideboard answer to Gangplank.
yeah, which we haven't
and
seen,
Rune Runner, correct.
but it does look like we will get up to 1. As first mate, will bring the boys back home safely.
Yeah, and then having this emissary, I believe it's empowered, is really strong because when the emissary dies empowered and has the death knell of create 2 1/1s, you get those units back, and because it's 2 units, you get 2 points.
Unchecked power already in the hand, stack deck, pick up singularity. I fear that this is going to be a rough one.
Like I said, like the Ezreal just has too many answers to units that like unchecked power is more of a, oh, I didn't check you last turn? Cool.
Boom. Yeah.
Get rid of it all. And it's another way if you decide to stack a battlefield right. Say like, oh, you're trying to play around with Bellows, perhaps Star Crosses and all this stuff. I'll just get rid of it all in one sweep and then handle your base.
Yeah. I mean, it's unfortunate because, like, what do you do as this Ambessa? Like, it definitely... I mean, I guess first off, it starts with a sabotage to get the check on, like, are you safe?
I think you take the singularity over the check.
No. I'm just saying you like, check their hand, not
yes.
take the unchecked power. More so, like, you got to start ripping the hand, because otherwise, you're going to put these units on the board and you're going to get 2 for 1 over and over and over again. And every time you do that,
But it's
Ezreal's
so hard
also
to do that against an Ezreal player.
No,
They just draw too many cards, and because the entire deck is play sets, like sure, like you saw last game.
Do you think this is just going to be singularity, kill your Kale?
Yes.
Kill your
Yeah, this
guy?
is the best way to do it. But because we are post sideboard, you do have to be careful about like unyielding spirit.
I think there's. I was saying I thought there was only 1 card in the hand, but it looks like there's more than 1.
I think it should be like 2 or 3
Plus,
cards.
you have the gold to only have to pay 1 of
Yeah,
their
we have
power.
3 cards, it looks like. So
Okay.
still relatively mid game. We haven't quite done any spiriting yet.
I mean, I
So-
guess, but you have. Yeah,
Yep,
I think
there
you
you
just
go.
go for it.
No, you just go for it now because you next turn that Kale gets empowered 3
Yeah.
times and then it's deflect 3 for the rest of the game.
Yeah,
You just need to get rid of it before that happens.
and the emissary comes back.
And knowing that you have the unchecked powers
Yeah.
in your hand for any Gangplanks or Rune Runners after that, you don't really...
And it kind of
Need-
really masterfully sets the trap, too, because if you're Ambessa here and you go, oh, dude, we just saw the singularity, we saw the Bella's Breath.
This
you
is
know,
my time.
This is my moment. Yeah, I'm going to jam it. And then you get hit with unchecked. And you're like,
Yep,
approach.
that's a card.
we're approaching the
So-
scoop step.
So we get the 2 units,
Yep.
use those 2 units, kind of a little tentacle action from the Mbessa right now.
I do prefer the tentacle tokens.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking about putting together a token cannon because then you get emissaries, you get the tentacles, and you get Alawi on top of like Vanguard captains and manufacturers and whatnot. So it's like a little bit more on the control variant, but you're not doing the bouncy house.
So Ambessa has come down. She's been empowered.
Yeah, which is nice because that will save you from unchecked powers. But then it's just like I'll just use everything else than unchecked powers. So
Yeah.
that's just the unfortunate part of Mbessa, especially with Fizz looping, and we saw it get gusted last game. So
Remember when I said that I thought Ambessa was going to win this matchup? I really had hope. I thought the Ambessa deck would just be fast enough, but it doesn't. I mean, it's fast. It just you get 5 points and then you
Yeah, it's
get
just-
board wiped and singularity'd, and then there's just you're right. When the entire deck is answers, you're gonna draw one.
Right.
If it's play sets of board wipes.
And if that one card attempts to target two things, I'm just going to replace it with Ezreal and find another answer. So
yeah.
Ezreal's real oppressive.
I mean, it just seems like the matchups that Ezreal takes over, like
It takes over.
it takes over. Yeah, right. But I mean, I guess conversely, like there has to be strategies that are good against Ezreal, right?
Oh yeah, I mean you're an orange, just drop a Ruin Runner and Ezreal deck folds. Like Ezreal's deck
Or the camel, right? The camel.
That is the camel.
Oh, that is the camel.
Yeah.
My bad.
Yeah, Camel and Barons are your strongest way to beat this deck. You just can't target it, force them to fight you, and eventually they just can't do that. But like this Ezreal style really takes advantage of the fact that Riftbound is a slow, methodical game. You only can score 2 points, guaranteed a turn.
I mean, we're in this situation though where he's just like, I'm gonna play 2 removal spells on your 2 tokens, like, and that's good.
He can't really use it on anything else because it's like, if I don't use it on those 2 tokens, you score another 2 points, right? So all Ezreal, like that's why it's so oppressive, is because it's hard to play this game not scoring points than it is to play this game just throwing cards around.
Yeah.
Like Magic, you just throw cards around and eventually your opponent gets to 0. In this game, you throw cards around doesn't necessarily mean you get to 8 points. So
I do think it's so funny that we haven't actually seen an Ezreal deck win. We've just seen all of Ezreal's opponents scoop tonight.
that is winning.
No, but we haven't seen them like hit the 8 points.
That's Ezreal's playstyle. It does not get to 8 points. If an Ezreal gets to 8 points, that means that game went so long that the other player is not smart.
We talked
enough
about
to
the
scoop.
unchecked. The unchecked gets sabotaged out of the hand.
Yep. Sabotage gets the unchecked out of hand.
Yes, sorry.
Yeah, because I mean you have to. If you're putting this Ambessa onto the battlefield, that's the only way to get.
We just saw Vex in the hand too.
Or why would you get rid of the unchecked if you have the Ambessa? Because it doesn't take damage, actually.
I think it's more so about the fact that, like, you know that there's going to be an answer to this Ambessa, and so you need to plan for life after him. Because you never win.
Fair.
You're going to get, like, 2 or 3 more points out of this Ambessa, and maybe that gets you to 7, and then you need
your other units to be
your other
there.
units. Yeah.
No, I agree with that. I didn't think that far. I was just like, there's so many answers to these other units in your hand.
Yeah.
And unchecked power, if I'm only putting 1 unit on a base, doesn't do too much. But like you said, you have to spread out your units because of Bell's Breath, that unchecked power is just going to hit more than you actually want it to. So I agree with that, hindsight.
It does look like stack deck is going to be the choice here. Looking for some more answers. And I think the best answer that we've seen so far for this Ambessa is the reduction into the Gust and just bounce it back. You know, you're going to spend, like, every time you play this Ambessa, you're going to empower it, and then I'm going to get rid of it, and then you're going to spend your whole turn doing it, and I'm going to draw cards, and you're right, like, you might be scoring points, but unless you get to 8, it doesn't matter how many points you scored.
Exactly. Because as an Ezreal, you never really get low enough to burn out, or you never get to the point of burning out, but you do get low enough. And that's usually where most people try to get the Ezreal to, is sure, like, you can use all your removal, draw all these cards, but eventually you will give me a point. So if I can just get to 7 when that happens, I just win the game.
That's true.
But it's so hard to get to those 7 points unless you're like an Ambessa. And this is a really strong stance to be in right now, because now this Ambessa is threatening a win. Because you just take with Ambessa, play another unit, ready that unit, and then score.
Yeah, right. And I mean, if there was going to be a window where you could get out of the Ezreal hooks, I think we're close to it in this current moment, where you're right. You have to have a first mate or something that allows you.
Well, you just have Ambessa, the legend. The legend readies your unit.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, your legend is a first mate as long as it's empowered.
Yeah.
So
I guess I forgot that it was empowered, but it did get empowered off of the Ambessa becoming empowered. So yeah. And we might see the flow from the public execution here on the Fizz.
Yeah, because if you take out this Fizz, they can't. They have to play another unit in Starcross rather than Starcrossing the Fizz and getting more value.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's a pretty good one to start cross, I will say.
Yeah.
Start working through the hand.
But, like, that's what, 6, 7 cards in Miyuki's hand right there? Like, plenty to just throw away. Especially if you're playing Public Execution Lacerates,
True.
which have flow.
I mean, I do think that this might be the opportunity. I think, though, that you have to resist the temptation here to bounce the Ambessa now.
No, I think you have to bounce her now.
You think?
Yeah. You can't, because if you leave the Mbessa here, that allows Miyuki to score 2 points on his next turn.
You're right, because he holds and then retreats it and scores again. Yeah.
Right. Well, he wouldn't hold. He was in base. So, like, he just scores, plays a unit, readies with Mbessa, and scores. So, not getting rid of this Mbessa on your turn forces you to then have to get rid of it on their turn. And that's a worse position for Ezreal, because then it says stop me from scoring this specific time. So you have to use all of your resources right now, and then I'll just play everything else after and say handle me again.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to pick up another card here, a stack deck. I don't know what quite we're digging for.
Just more answers.
Yeah.
You know? Like, Mbessa's at 6. You could lose potentially to a first mate plus another unit.
Mm-hmm. Which maybe that's what we're going to see here. I think that is what we're going to see here.
Is that 2 or 3?
That's 2.
Ah.
Oh, no, hold on. Come on, just pick up 3.
Right, just pick up 3, bro.
Yeah.
Stop teasing us.
Yeah, we know what you got. And it's, okay. I did just get a glance. I do not think it's a first mate.
Looks like we're just going to empower, give it the deflect, you know?
Yeah.
No, we're going to ready. Yep. Go to Sandswept. Take that 7th point.
And this is exactly where Ezreal wants you. He wants you to get to 7. He wants you to be hopeful. And then he's going to crush your dreams.
Well, Ezreal wants you to be at 7, not 6, because then you have to hold, right? Or double conquer. So it gives you a harder out than just a simple double conquer. Or a conquer and hold, right? Because now, if Ezreal can just keep you on 1 unit, you will never win this game moving forward.
Wait, I'm confused. Can you not just conquer to 8?
No. Once you're at 7, you have to score on both battlefields to win the game. Or you have to hold from 7 to 8. You can't just, like...
I've definitely been playing Riftbound wrong. I would like to inform. I did not know this was a rule.
Yeah.
I also don't think the store that I played pre-Rift at, which is notably not Nerd Rage.
Which is
played
why,
this
like,
correctly.
Baron is a very strong play in Pike, but it's also a gambling play.
Yeah, because you have to... That's why you said you have to control all 3.
Yep, you have to conquer 3 to win, or you have to hold one of them.
I did not know that.
Yeah, so that's why this game is very intricate and complex, because it's not a I just get to 8 and I win. It's a I have to fundamentally get to 8 through the means of the game, not through the means of scoring.
I will say that I guess most of the time that I've scored 8 has just been naturally through holding.
Okay.
So I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
That it's never been like explained, because usually by the time you're there, you very clearly have won the game. But it is funny to me that even that I did not realize. But yeah, that is interesting, because now you're right. Ezreal can just consistently keep one of your guys off.
Yeah.
And then it's like, yeah, you're at 7, but good luck.
Yeah, and at 7, rather than scoring to 8, you draw a card. So if you just keep scoring at 7, eventually you're going to burn yourself out. So it's like...
Is that the true Ezreal win con? You give him points through burning yourself
No, it's
up?
the scoop phase. And, like, that's why I was saying Ezreal doesn't necessarily teach you good Riftbound. It just teaches you a knowledge base of Riftbound. Because you're not point tracking in Ezreal. Like, you don't do the whole, do I go to 6 or do I go to 7? So this is unfortunately only going to be able to hit 1 target, which is the Bell's Rest. But I think that is one of your strongest targets to hit there, since none of your discard spells can hit Vex. Because Vex is really the strongest way to stop this Mbessa now.
Yeah.
Because all you got to do is just get rid of this Sunhawk, put Vex on a battlefield, and then you, as an Mbessa player, unless you get rid of it, will never be able to play a unit, ready a unit.
Watcher is getting in there.
Yep, get rid of this unit. Take the first point of the game for
Heck
you.
yeah.
You know, finally get there. Yep, play the Vex so you
Negative
can accelerate.
1 points for Ezreal.
So I think this will be the nail in the coffin. This is where Ezreal completely took control of the game.
And now we're going to start working our way through the hand.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because now
I can't tell if we're untapping or scooping.
Or untapping.
Oh, okay. I was like, I can't tell.
So now this Mbessa needs to find a way to get rid of this Vex in 2 turns without losing too many units.
I think we're just going to play out the hand here, because if we don't, it's doomed to the Wisp anyway. Powering the Mbessa.
Yep.
Holding up that punch.
Keeps it from dying. Well, punch here doesn't do anything.
No, yeah, it's just the only one that I can think of in his deck that costs 1 at reaction.
Repulse.
I guess Repulse, yeah.
Repulse is what you would want since you're not going to be able to deal damage to this Mbessa. You're going to have to Starcross it, which allows me to repulse you. But it was just a Couture Roar. Looks like it was the last card in Mbessa's hand. And now that there's nothing else as far as gas, if we can just get rid of one of these units, we're pretty golden from there. And I think we do get rid of the Mbessa now, you know, keep forcing you to pay 7 energy to do it.
Oh, I see it. I see it.
Spirit.
The scoop mindset is look. I see it in his eyes. He wants to draw his card and pick up his runes.
Yeah, well, it's looking like Mbessa will not be able to take Nexus Knight 2 weeks in a row.
Which is tragic because there was no Origin pack on the line last week. Right?
I don't think there was. No.
This week.
Yeah.
It's a brutal week to come in second. But the runes come out.
Here we go. Score 1, draw.
Yeah.
Rengar's a good start.
Well,
But
Vex.
we do have Vex. So what you can do, if this Vex ever leaves the battlefield and Ezreal ever gives you a chain, you just play the Rengar to where that Watcher is, and then you punch first. And then you can score there, draw another card, and now you're forcing 2 holds for the game. And then also...
So there's hope. You're telling me there's a chance.
Yes, because now what he can do as Mbessa is let you react to...
Well, he's just going to blink the Wisp, isn't he?
Yeah, and then you just play in response.
He plays Rengar on the battlefield.
Yeah, you can just play to that battlefield. That's fine.
Okay. He says, get rid of the Wisp. I would not like to experience that anymore.
Mm-hmm. Well, because then he can't just bounce his Rengar or anything and then bring it back. But yeah, pack Watcher, baby. And Ezreal takes it. Well, unfortunately, Mbessa was not able to go 2-0 at the Nexus Knights of Nerd Rage, but we are going to switch over to Jax versus Azir. Let's see who has the better equipment matchup.
I think it's Azir. Weren't you just telling me that Azir is the better, Jax in every way?
That's what they were saying. Azir, as far as equipment-wise, yeah, I think Azir is better because the equipments that you have better utility. Like Eye of the Herald gives you a unit when you move. So that's multiple bodies across, and it's an equipment that does it, so you're not necessarily losing that value when the unit dies.
Okay.
BF Sword is bigger as far as the plus might than most of your orange ones. It's just I like the fact that orange has Trinity Force and Ruin Runner combo.
Okay.
So you can just go, cool, my Ruin Runner is a 7. If you can't get over that, I'm scoring 2 points a game because you're not targeting it.
Yeah, I think it's pretty brutal to have to deal with the camel. The camel suited up is a little worse.
Mm-hmm.
But it does look like we will dedicate another Sand Soldier to the cause.
Yeah, and we're just using our reaction time to play a gear from Jax, just so that way we can have a free equip. Because if we don't do it now and this Azir doesn't do anything else, then we've lost our opportunity. So just getting free value there. It's unfortunate that it was a brutalizer, but Jax can just re-equip it to this Lucian if he needs to.
We do see a Defy in the hand of Azir, so that will be helpful dealing with these gear spells.
No, Defy cannot defy gears. Defy is only spells.
I'll never get over the fact that in Magic, everything that's gets put on the stack is technically a spell, and then in Riftbound, only things that are not units and gears are spells.
Well, yeah, we have actual spells in this game, actual gear, and actual unit. Versus Magic, everything is a spell, and it just has certain types. And the difference between Riftbound and Magic is that Magic, like you said, uses the stack and everything it does. Riftbound uses this chain rather than the stack, but gears and units bypass the chain unless it has when you play me effect.
I see.
So like you just play it through the chain unreactable, and if it doesn't have anything that creates a chain, then you just keep moving.
Arise, notably in the hand of the Azir. So
Yep.
Very
One thing Jax has that Ezreal doesn't for this matchup is his signature spell Counter Strike.
Okay.
So if you do try to go tall against him, like you play your Azir, accelerate, and then bring in like 16 soldiers, you can just go, cool, I will Counter Strike, block all of that with Counter Strike because all of that happens at the next instance at the same time, and then take my point and move on. So Jax definitely, and still get rid of, if you can, soldiers at the same time.
and it
So-
looks like
Jax has a Stellacorn, first main, maybe a couple of gears. I don't know if he has any like interaction.
looks like there's a Rengar in the bottom back left as well.
So and Rengar is nice too. Because like you said with Eye of the Herald, it creates a chain. So if you ever leave a soldier at a battlefield, Rengar can just gobble that up. Yeah, and then we're going to use Jax to move the Brutalizer over Lucian so we can get the +2. Looks like we're going to use our Counter Strike now, but it is going to get defied. Do we have our own defy? No. So yeah, so we're going to do it there, but we will play a Brutalizer number 2, give it another +3, putting it to 9.
Get our Conquer there. Go up to 4. But, I mean, this Arise hopefully will be pretty massive for these.
And then I wonder if this is where we just throw... Yeah, because Lucian readies himself. Lucian's going to move himself back, but I think we charm first. Is that what I'm seeing?
I don't think there's a...
Nope. We're going to Rampage. The new Unleashed removal spell in all of orange. That's a guarantee. So yeah, but having that Arise is going to be really strong for this next turn coming up.
Yeah, right. It seems necessary to get yourself back into this game.
How many Arises do we have, though, in the hand? Because last time he played 3.
That is true. So this one was going to make us, what, 3 soldiers? Just 2.
4?
Oh, yes, the glare is on the other 2 pieces of gear. That is correct.
And then he gets to choose where they go. And notably, you see that the Arise Azir players do not attach the Brutalizer off of Arise. So that way they can attach it to one of the ready units and get the +3.
I see.
Because that way...
Because all of these soldiers enter...
So all of your soldiers enter exhausted, but Arise creates 2 of those that aren't. So it's like I'll create these units,
And we're going to get to see the hand, too.
and then I'll attach the Brutalizer so that way I can get 2 gears on one of my ready units instead of just 1.
Looks
But
like...
we have Call of the Week, Guards, Storm Shields. What's the bottom card? Hidden Blade. Are we gonna hide a Hidden Blade? Oh no, that's Soul Sword, the XP one. Not Doran Shield. So it's 4 to 5. We'll hide. I believe we're gonna look to hide a Hidden Blade. Yes. And say go. And then, notably, we did not hide the guards at the other battlefield. So it looks like that Hidden Blade is just going to look to draw some more cards, not necessarily fight back.
This is a pretty statted up Lucian at the current moment.
Yeah, it is. 5 might, though, so not as big as it can be, but we can use our legend to switch it over to the other Jacks to get bigger. So, like, one thing Jacks players can do is they can use their already equipped unit to fight first. And then if it survives, just use Jacks to re-equip one of those to something else, so that way it gains more might, and then fight somewhere else. Which what you could have done earlier, since you're new and we weren't there for this. Jax's legend was able to, like, say this Brutalizer, right? He used to be able to re-equip the Brutalizer to the Lucian to give it a new +3 might, because it got re-equipped, but you can't do that anymore. Which is why you don't really see Aurelios anymore, because Aurelios, you can't just keep flickering the same equipment to itself from the legend to constantly get the effects. So what are we really looking to do here? I think we just Hidden Blade the Jacks here.
Draw our cards.
Well, more so because you get the utility of Quick Draw from the Jacks deck away when you get rid of the Jacks. So if he's going to throw away his Jacks first, I would use the Hidden Blade on it now. Force you to play your equipment. Or you don't have to play it now, because you can always just let this resolve, draw 2, and then see what you draw instead. But if you want to, like, save this Jax, it forces to use any Guardian Angels or right now. Because you can't zone use since it's not an equipment, and Jax doesn't play gears. He only plays equipment. So this is a very interesting play. Kind of confused on why you would throw the Jax in first. And then we are going to decide to target the Jacks. We will play out the GA and save it now. You still draw 2 cards because the GA doesn't replace the death or stop the death. It just replaces it. Yep. And then we'll take that field, clear it, go to 6. Play 1 to draw. Should be readying the solution next. Yep. We'll just shortcut it, move it back. And I bet this Ambessa player wish they had 7 cards in their hand last game. We'll play the Irresistible Faefolk, first main. Yep, I'm ready. I guess because you do want to save the Lucian, because it already conquered once.
Yeah.
But I think at this point, I would have thrown the Lucian into that top side, get to that 7th point, because then on that following turn, any point you score first is an extra draw.
That's true.
Versus trying to, because you still have to double conquer either which way at 7. So that doesn't change what you're doing right now. All it does is just change if you get to see an extra card. But at the same time, you are saving Lucian for that double conquer.
Yeah,
next
I
turn.
think that's more what it's about, is the ability to just have more units to throw into that double conquer effort.
Right. But then you are leaving, I guess you're only leaving 3 might on the side of Azir, and if he wants to get any use out of this Eye of the Herald, he has to move out of the battlefield. So that's interesting as well.
Conquer to 6.
So now we're 6-6.
We do see the Call to Weeks in the hand.
Yep, Call, Arise, 2 extra cards. Does he have, you said Call to Weeks. Does he have an extra one?
No, I think he just has 1.
Okay.
Sorry.
I didn't see what his extra 2 cards were, so I didn't know
I didn't.
if he drew an extra one. So that changes a lot of math now.
Just reinforcing this battlefield.
Yeah. Because he has to really be careful about how he splits here. Because if he splits too small on one side, he can just clear and then Faefolk in. And then really dwindle you down. I wonder what these extra 2 cards are. So I feel like you at least play the Call of the Week, right? Get rid of an option. The unfortunate part of a 0, though, is that you have to put your sand soldiers to base, so you can't reinforce with those. I don't know if you play the guards here, because you can always hide it and get the might on your opponent's turn. And you get the weapon master on your opponent's turn, so you can always move some stuff around if you need to. Tough. It's really hard to see what they're going to... Yep, so we will play the Cole. Probably get rid of this recruit. I wonder if June does get rid of the first mate over the Fey Folk.
I mean, I think the Fey Folk being able to manipulate your opponent's units is very powerful.
That is true, but seeing how the board is kind of split right now, it is a matter of like,
Ooh, that's good.
It's gonna be tough. You definitely get.
Do
rid
they
of
have the Defy? They do. They do. Do they pop the Defy though?
Yes. Because one thing that can happen here is, yep, you bring that Lucian in, really get rid of it because you don't want to reduce yourself by targeting the Jack since you're already at 4 runes. And you don't want to target the Fey Folk because, like you said, it can manipulate the battlefields at this point. So I think you do Defy here because if you weren't going to bring that Lucian to that bottom battlefield on your turn, you're looking to hold it for the next turn. And if you're not going to... If you're just going to let me get rid of it now, then that's all the more better. So we hard cast the guards to move the BF sword over hiding the guards. Makes me wonder what else is in hand. Because I feel like you could have played your other soul sword, make another 2/2 in case you survive this next turn, and then you can equip your soul swords to units and still hide the guards, and then use the guards from hidden to start swapping some stuff around, add extra might, things of those natures. Especially if like you wanted to hide the guards at that top battlefield, kind of force them into thinking it's a hidden. I mean, well, they already knew about the guards, but it's a hidden blade. Let them swing small enough that your guards overtakes it, and then you take away a swingable option away from the Jacks.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, this is such like a gummed up board state. Someone is going to...
It looks like we scooped.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I was about to say, we saw the Rengar for the longest time, and I was pretty sure that the Rengar was going to be like, cracked open, but it looks like just showing the hand.
I feel like it could have. So your Lucian's at 4. You use Jacks. Oh, you can't re-equip the same. Yeah, so you just use your Jacks to re-equip it somewhere else. To add an extra +3 because your Lucian can take that top battlefield and it's only at 2. Now this is where if you were at 7, you get an extra card draw.
Yeah.
To see more options. And then you Fey Folk onto that battlefield, pull the biggest dude over, use Jacks to re-equip the Brutalizer. Because you don't care about that battlefield anymore, you're trying to score on the next one. Send all your units there, play that Rengar there, and then take over and you win the game. So I feel like that could have been a line, depending on what else was in hand.
Unfortunately, we'll never know.
We'll never know.
We'll never know.
But there we go. Ezreal takes it for the 3-0. Azir takes it for the 3-0. So congratulations to our undefeated winners, Wrath and Flex Ace Attorney. Congratulations, you two. You'll get a Origins Nexus Night pack for your wins. And then thank you, everybody, for watching. I'm Teddy Panda.
I'm Soap.
And we'll see you next week.
Thanks for having us.